Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why have you come with me? Strange.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live in the Morning. It's your host, Chuck Allen, with your host, Uncle Freezy, coming to you live on a Monday, making Monday.
Bam, bam.
Okay,
What's good, boss?
I don't know what happened with the sound effects this morning.
Yeah,
all
man.
How you doing this morning?
Man, good, man. Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
Right, me either, man. Me either. Ain't no need in complaining, bro. Ain't no need, man. I'm in a good space, a good place, with good faces, familiar. Man,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited, bro. I'm excited. Yeah, man. How's your weekend?
It was good. It was good until I watched the verses. But other than that, you know, my weekend was okay. I touched bases with our guy, the creative RC. Very, very, very good conversation. What else? All I did was work, man. All I did was work. After you and I had a conversation, then I had that conversation with him. That's all I did was work, man. This is very different for me. I've never done this before. Can you wait? Your mic went out. I didn't hear anything you said. Yeah, man. Nope. Still nothing. I just want to make sure I'm good. Let me make sure I'm good. Because the last time I told you yeah, so the last time I was like, Unc, I can't hear you. And then it turned out I had my volume down. So therefore I couldn't. There we go. All right. So Uncle Freezy's in the background. He's taking care of, some technical difficulties. Hey man, anytime you're shooting a live show over the internet, man, there's bound to be technical difficulties, man. Technology. As far as we come, we still got a long way to go. So anyway, definitely had a great weekend. Salute to our guy, to both our guys in the building this morning. Delano Steele Jr., aka the real DSJ, aka the YouTube Usher Raymond.
Bim,
Yes, sir.
and he's back.
And Uncle Freezy is back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vince
Yeah,
is in the building. Good morning. Good morning.
building.
Salute, vibrant ones. You were saying something before your mic cut out.
Yeah, I was saying, man, ain't it great to have connections to other people that are just as creative as you are and have the same amount of drive or more as you do, but they have that creative thing in different spaces, right?
Absolutely.
Right, like RC Creative is a future cinema mogul, right? Creative screenwriter, producer, director, RC Creative, and he was speaking to Chuck and has respect for Chuck Allen, who has the same drive, ingenuity, genius, creative, creative flexibility, all these different things, but Chuck just does it in a different arena. It's like when the rappers show up to the basketball game. Everybody is creative and talented. It's just in different forums.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And for myself personally, I'm creative in neither the movie cinema aspect or the music production, but I have a drive to occupy the space, kind of like a Diddy, like a Puff Daddy. Like I don't have the talent of the God-given talent of music and all that other stuff, but I think my creativity and talent is in organization.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so when all of us get together and have these conversations, it puts you in a place where it's like, man, did you see what RC Creative did?
Yeah.
And RC Creative is like, Uncle Freezy, this dude Chuck Allen is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And we think about ourselves like, man, we ain't perfect, man. We are not. It seems like we think lower of ourselves than what other people think about us.
Because we're our own worst critics. When you're
Yes.
creative, you are your own worst critic. Because you look at it like, man, this ain't it. And then, throw it away. And then here comes someone else reaching in the trash bin like, who in the world?
Bro, threw this away.
Yeah, man, that ain't no good. Are you kidding me? Are you crazy? Look at this. All right, if you think you can do something with it.
Yeah. Hey, Chuck, and then the other thing too, which is fascinating to me, is that there are some people that are not talented that occupy spaces.
Yes.
Right? But they occupy the space for the love of it. You feel me? Like there are some people people walk up to me, they're like, yo, I like your vibes and stuff, loco. Who did that? I could do one better. They show me like a little something.
Right.
And I'm like, legit. Like you got to think about what this stuff is gonna look like cross different platforms. You know what I'm saying? Not just what's gonna be fly on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking about the grand scheme of thing. Like what's gonna look fly in the corner when me and Chuck be talking? What's gonna look fly on a hat? What's gonna look fly on the commercials and the animations that we do? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah. So I feel you. But Chuck, let me do this. Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
When you spoke to RC Creative, what was your initial impressions of that brother? Like, what were you going into that conversation thinking?
Full honesty, man, it was like I was like, well, this is an opportunity. You know what I mean? I could have easily been like, hey, man, I know my name was passed along as somebody that could possibly do something, but I ain't never really done this before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I wanted the challenge because I'm like, The only reason I haven't done it because I haven't been asked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I went in with the mindset, whatever he asked for, try to get as close to the mark. So before he could even tell me what he was looking for, I sent him a joint, and he was like, "This is definitely." He gave me the flame emojis, and he was like, "This is dope, but I need something more along the lines of, James Bond." And so when he said that, I said, "Okay, now let's narrow it down." Because each movie has its own theme song.
Right.
And before he could tell me which one that he was looking for, I had already looked at that. I had just got finished listening, and that was the first one I went to that wasn't the original. Because everybody knows. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Everybody know that one, right?
Yep.
But the one that I like, it happens to be from not one of the worst movies, but one of the least appreciated, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Brosnan, Time to Kill.
Yeah.
So that one was sung by Gladys Knight.
Right.
So that had a whole different. It had more of a soul vibe. And I was like, I don't know if he would want me to do something like that. And sure enough, That's what he wants. So I'm like, okay, give me a little bit of time. Let me work on that, because I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So I gotta, really hit the lab and make sure that I present that brother with something that he could be proud of.
Right. No doubt.
But I'm digging his creativity. I like the vision of what he's trying to do. I think that's dope, and we have to tip our hats to that from the standpoint, we got a brother, you know what I mean?
Right.
Writing, directing a show starring people that look like us. And it's a spy.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Chuck. Let's play the snippet he sent us. Let's play the snippet, and then I'm gonna follow that up by a joint by one of our loyal crew members. Right? I'm gonna play that, and then I'm gonna play the joint Hood Goddess.
Okay.
I had it all. Everything I ever wanted in this life. The car I wanted. I had the career I wanted. I had the girl of my dreams. And so many. And now it has all been taken away from me. And I cannot remember what happened to my life. I don't even remember who I am.
Yeah. Shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk. Command attention. It's all about your vibe. Your true intention. I call you Hood Goddess. You're misunderstood. 'Cause you're from the hood. to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, it's the way you walk. Command attention. It's all about your vibe. Your true intention. I call you good guidance. You're misunderstood. Cause you're from the hood. That Dominican girl. East African queen, call you my cinnamon girl. Sweet like grandma Copper. You were a #1 prospect. Even if you're raised in the projects. And you got the whole game on lock. Cops and robbers. They'll build an altar, you're so bomb. You shoot them down so calm. You don't be playing no games. But sexy in jerseys you throw on. I'm your soldier, I will march in line. You know it's your world. Let me hit you with that Martin line. You go, girl, it's the way you walk. Command attention. It's all about your vibe. Your true intention. I call you good guidance. You're misunderstood. Cause you're from the hood.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I would love to be the one that holds you. Console you in times of grief and listen when you're trying to speak. Your smile, it brightens up the darkest moods. And looking in your eyes is like gazing at the stars and moon. Just thinking about you, damn, I can hardly move. The depths of my feelings are hard to convey. Like trying to catch fish at the edge of a bay. Like I'm caught in an infinite wave. Cause even when you do the simplest things,
Yo, those two dopes are fire.
Yeah, man.
Those two joints are fire, bro.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
And Chuck, just real quick, I just want to say something real quick, man. For those of y'all that's on the Vibes and Stuff bandwagon right now, man, buckle your seatbelt for bigger and better stuff. The future is so bright, so to speak, that you got to wear shades, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
So for those that don't understand what it is that we're looking to do with at Vibes and Stuff, you don't have to understand. Just get on board right now. Don't let this train leave, because once the Vibes and Stuff thing leave, don't be saying, yo, I used to know those dudes back in the day. Now they act like they don't know me when we don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm telling you, it's so much talent. You got Chuck Allen, you got Uncle Freezy, you got DSJ, you got RC Creative, a whole bunch of talented brothers coming together, bringing their stuff together like the Justice League. I'm telling you, you saw the hybrid trailer. Get your asses in the movie theaters to go see this thing, because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. And you heard what Chuck Allen said about the score being Bond-ish. It was like, so the way that we describe it is Bond-ish, but we're not saying copy James Bond. Like, give me one of them James Bond joints. Nah. What we're saying is that style of scoring movie intro music is what we're looking to do. And Chuck is the master at all of this stuff. Now he gonna get up here and be humble as shit. He gonna be, man, you know, Uncle Freezy, man, don't be telling him that, man. You know, I'm just a little something. But you heard Chuck threw together jams. Chuck legit threw together 5 songs. Wow. That don't give you the Born Identity vibes right there. Right there. I'm thinking of Born Identity right off rip. I'm thinking Captain America Winter Soldier right there. As soon as I hear it. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, we about to do big and better stuff, man. Get on board, man. Y'all better share this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Salute Cully and Jay Boogie, man. You're right, DSJ. And my man Julian Blum, man. Julian Blum be doing some dope visual stuff, man. I had no idea he would shoot videos, man. Until I went to his channel. I was like, yo, you shot that video?
Julian Blum. Yes. Don't forget Julian Blum. I'm telling you, bro. It's like a whole movement here. It's like a Wu-Tang Clan of I'm telling you, man. It's crazy. It's the native tongues, vibes and stuff. Is like I'm telling you, it's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. So yeah, that was the joint. And he was like, yeah, I rocks with that, but this is what I'm looking for. And so I'm like, okay. So now I know exactly what to go in and do for you. I was very excited, man. Like I probably did I want to say 10 joints. I probably did like 10 joints. But like I said, this is very new for me. As you heard with the joint, that was like my first time actually like using orchestral sounds. You know, trying to bring that cinematic feel to it, because those aren't things I usually sounds that I usually deal with at all. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge, man. I thank you for putting my name out there and, you know, making that connection. Yeah, man. Like this is one of those.
But that wasn't business, Chuck. That was an obligation. That was a brotherly obligation. That wasn't even business. That's like, yo, this talented brother need help, and I know a talented brother that supplies the help that you need. And my thing is connecting the two.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't even about business. It was about, yo, doing the right thing.
And that I wanna tip my hat to you. Say it publicly, let it be recorded so we can play it back. Hey man, I've been in situations where people know I can do certain things, but when they pass my name on, you know, they be wanting to get a cut, or they'll, you know, no, he my man. I'll talk to him what you need. And you was like, nah, here you go. This is what you do, blase blah. And I was like, word. And because the only reason I said word, because I'm just used to people wanting to be the middleman and get their quote unquote finder's fee. Like, oh man, you know, I made this happen. So in order to cross this bridge, you know, you gotta pay this toll. And I'm like,
right.
He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do, like, trust me, I know there are plenty of people between both of your channels that hey, Uncle Freezy, why don't you play some of my joints? Why don't you hook me up with this and hook me up with that? And I just really appreciate it. Even if nothing happens with it,
right.
I just appreciate the opportunity, and it's an absolute challenge for me. So much. So I got. Let me do this. So so yeah, I've been digging way deep in the bag, trying to come up with something that
That's fire, bro.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I've been all right. That's it. I don't got no more.
Hey, yo, did you shit? That was enough. What the hell? That's it. When I heard that joint right there, I just wanted to drop in from the ceiling with a laser on my head and fight an alleyway full of henchmen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that Deep Public Enemy. Yeah, like yeah, it does have like a video game theme type of sound.
Right.
Like I was okay, what about an action scene? What about a you know the hero has to it's his montage of getting all his stuff together to go, do the final battle or something like that. Like
Right.
Just trying to making beats is one thing, but creating the soundscape to a visual is a little bit different. In my opinion. It's a little bit different.
And the thing about scoring, that the little bit that I know, which is about 0.5% of nothing, is that scoring is built in to complement the mood of the scene, right? Right? Like it's
Right.
built in to be the complement, right? Not set the tone. Because a lot of times music sets the tone, right? Like I watched this movie Triple X with Vin Diesel, which was probably a bad movie overall, but it was a cool movie, right? And so
Yes, sir.
there was this song in there that I heard play. I heard it one time, and I knew I was gonna love that song for the rest of my life. It's a song by Drowning Pool called "Bodies," and it starts with "Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor," and the dude starts screaming,
Yeah.
and and it's like you could see the action going, and it's like the music is complementing the adrenaline rush that the viewer is getting by Vin Diesel driving this car down the road all fast, getting chased by the man. You know what I'm saying? Watching them set up the thing on the bridge where he gonna drive the car, but you hope he don't get caught by the man, and the camera is going and all this stuff, and you hear, you know what I'm saying? You hear Drowning Pool in the background. You talk, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So when you scoring, like scoring is like the bread that you choose for the sandwich, but it's not the meat and all the stuff that go with it. It's like the perfect complement, right? Right. And so I know 0.5% of nothing about producing music, right? But the fact that you and RC Creative, and that's my man too. Now,
yeah,
let's not get it twisted. This is me and RC Creative don't have a business relationship. Me and that's my homie. You know what I'm saying? That's that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he asked me months ago. He was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this thing." I was like, "Yo, I know this kid Chuck Allen, man." And this is months ago. This is before me and Chuck, you know what I'm saying, start being me and Chuck. I'm like, "Yo, I know this kid Chuck Allen, man. He do a little music and stuff. Word on the street is that he dope. The few things that I heard, you know what I'm saying, I think the kid talented." You're like, "Oh yeah?" And he was like, "Well, I guess the conversation was leaning towards, would you co-sign him?" And I co-sign for him. I was like, "Not yet. Let me get to know him first." This was months and months and months ago. And I reached out to Chuck months and months. Chuck, you remember when I reached out to you about the same thing?
Yeah.
I was like, and so he's like,
yeah.
He's like, "Do you are you gonna co-sign for?" I don't know him that good yet. Let me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying Chuck didn't know me like that, and I didn't know Chuck like that. You got to get to know
a co-sign. I gotta know you.
Right.
I gotta know you for a co-sign.
And then plus, both of us had personal stuff going on that we was going on paths that we was going to have to change course, and we didn't know it at the time. Like when we first met, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like with me, I had to make some personal physical changes, like some lifestyle changes and stuff. I didn't know it at that time, but whatever. So for us to be on this path right here, bruh, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. So shout out to RC Creative. Shout out to the Vibes and Stuff family. This thing is more than a movement. This Vibes and Stuff thing is gonna be special, bro. It's special. You know what I'm saying? This thing is gonna be something huge. And shout out to DSJ for allowing us to play Hood Goddess on the joint. We are so gracious and honored that you allowed us to do that. And honestly, I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. Yeah, man.
Hood Goddess is dope, man. Like that song is so vibey, man.
Yeah.
If you say you don't like it, I don't believe you.
Right.
Because I remember when I first heard it, when DSJ first sent it to me, I played it. I was like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, I like it, but let me hear it one more time. I like it. Let me hear it one more time. And I said, hold up. Let me call this dude. Let me call this dude right now. Let me call him right now. Yo, man, this is fire.
Yeah, man. Hey, and so we looking to do a lot of stuff. But Chuck, let me ask you this. Let me shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, unless you had something else to add. I'm sorry.
I want to give y'all one more snippet, and that's it. Okay. Chuck is done with that.
Man. Hey, your mic kind of low, Chuck. Hey, is your mic kind of low? Is that me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. That was dope.
Thank you, sir.
That was dope. I felt like I was the ninth Avenger. Like Captain America had just ran off and left me with like 4 of the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the airport parking lot about to fight like 4 of the most powerful villains. And it gave me the Quentin. It gave me the Kill Bill vibes, like a fight scene in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Right, like that. Like
we're gonna move on because you ain't about to gas me on here. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, I'm just at. Chuck? Can I express my opinion? Can I express my opinion? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Cause I think the joint is
Yeah.
fire, bro. I think this joint that you just played, and I ain't trying to gas Chuck, but I think this joint right here that you just played, probably better than any scene music in that movie Kill Bill, bro. If you play this joint right here that you just played in Kill Bill, take it over the top, bro. Take it over the top. I'm legit saying in front of David Parker, in front of Savage NYC, in front of DSJ, you take this joint that Chuck created and put this in a joint like Kill Bill, bro. What? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Bro.
Wow.
That shit right there was epic, bro. That joint right there was epic, bro. In my opinion. That's my opinion. That's you know what I'm saying? And David,
hey,
look what David Parker say. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying, yo, hey, Chuck, you talented, bro. You talented. I don't know how long it took you to come up with that, and really, I guess it don't even really matter because you came up with it. But that joint is fire, bro.
Probably a 45 minutes. Yeah, that one took me like about 45 minutes.
You said that joint took you 45 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't even know what we doing here. We need to be somewhere else, bro.
Wait.
I don't even know what we doing. What we doing hosting the morning show. We need to be somewhere else, bro. We need to be in Atlanta, you know, or Hollywood or somewhere. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's gonna something is gonna pan out for us. At some point, man. David Parker, man, I appreciate those kind of words, man. So Savage NYC had asked earlier, is that a E D A chord progression? It's an A minor. It's an A minor chord progression. But yeah, man. This is a stretch for me, man, because I'm used to, you know, just straight. I told you, I was on my R&B stuff right now.
Right.
I just that's the mode that I'm in.
Okay.
But when RC when this opportunity presented itself again, I was like, nah, let me really like lock in and do joints justice, man. Like
right.
Having your joint in a movie, having your joint, I don't care if it's big budget, low budget, no budget, long as you know I can say that's my joint.
Right.
I did that. For me is enough, man.
Right. In a selfish way, that's enough for you. But for others, like for others that don't have the talent, for those of us that appreciate the arts, bro, man, that's why and Vibe says, I'm talking to y'all. I ain't talking to Chuck right now. But you notice that's why we have to create places like museums and art exhibits and concerts. Because if you leave it up to the artists themselves give us a piece of them, and they want to give us the piece that they feel comfortable with. But for us we have to showcase their stuff, right? And put exhibits out to show the world like this is what they've done, and this should be shared by everybody. It's why you have record stores. It's why you have museums. You know what I'm saying? Because artists they share the piece, like the mindset that they're in, excuse me, or the emotional space or the vibe that they were in a certain stitch of time.
Yes, sir.
And for those that appreciate that, we want to share that stuff in a place where it could be shared forever by not just us, but also by the generations that follow, and different people from different arenas or different sects that come and I'm talking about sects like SECTS that come in from different areas, and they hear this new thing and they get a grander appreciation for the overall thing, and not just a grander appreciation for the overall thing, but for this new artist that they found, right? Like for those that listen to a certain thing, they discover Chuck Allen and now they become a Chuck Allen fan, take the Chuck Allen vibe, take it back to the place that they came from and share it with new people. And then those people get to experience the Chuck Allen experience. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when Chuck was saying those things, I was like, yo, nah, bro, you can nah, man. Yo, let us have our moment enjoying your stuff. Because once you put it out there to the world, it's even though it's yours, it's not really yours. Like once you create it and put it out there and we hear it, even though you created it and should reap all the rewards and benefits, you no longer own it because it's art. You know what I'm saying? So any financial thing, popularity thing, fame thing, finances, all that stuff go to Chuck. But the art itself belongs to the people. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things that you can't. It's like the Bond movies, the Bond scoring, right? Like the Bond movies. Whoever wrote James Bond deserves. Whoever created does all. Whoever produced and they deserve all the money that their arms can carry, right? But the art itself belongs to the people. It's just like Hybrid. RC Creative did all the legwork. He wrote it, produced it, financed it, all that stuff. He did all of that stuff, and he deserves the benefit of all the stuff all the stuff that his arms can carry. He deserves all that stuff, right?
Yes.
But in terms of the art itself, once you share it, it belongs to the people, right? And we're gonna spread it by word of mouth, right? And we're gonna spread it by word of mouth. What's dope? You know what I'm saying? And so I know that sounds like really esoteric in all of that stuff, and maybe it is, but at the end of the day, what we want artists to understand is we appreciate the contribution to the arts.
Absolutely.
Unlike Ray J, who can't sing.
Yeah. Let's get into that. Ladies and gentlemen. You want to go ahead and finish introing that in? That was a lovely segue. That was a lovely segue.
Let's do it, boss. Let's get into this. I just got questions, bro. I just have questions. That's all. So Chuck, what was this thing about? Why was it in a Marion versus Mario? What people considered those two to be the best singers, or did they have the most hits?
No and no. I don't believe okay. I don't know why they were there, but I understood because there was like they didn't have 10. They didn't have 20 hits. Each of them didn't have 20 hits, right? So they got all the guys with, mediocre. I don't want to say mediocre because that's disrespectful. But guys who had hits, they might have had a couple, but not 20. They put them all together on the same bill that night. So you had Ray J and Bobby Valentino versus Pleasure P and Little Sammy, right? Then
Okay.
the main event was Mario and Omarion. Now,
Right.
on paper, you like, oh, okay. Because Omarion got hits by himself, and then he has his B2K stuff. I don't know outside of Bump Bump Bump. I don't know any of the B2K stuff because I was a little too old for B2K. Right? You got to talk to my sister and my brother about that. But Mario, when I heard Just a Friend, I was like, oh, I like this young kid. I like him, right? And then, like I told you, I got a chance to see, a BT or something had like a reality show following him and his life in Baltimore, with his mom and stuff. And so when you see The Wire, like that's real spit, man. Like his mom was addicted to heroin. They showed her comping, showing her going in and out of rehab. And like his story really like, made me want to get into his music as an artist. Because I was like, yo, I want to hear if he's gonna bring some of that to his artistry, right? He can sing.
Right.
What I saw from the verses was what goes on in the industry.
Okay.
You have performers and studio singers versus real singers.
Right.
Guys that don't need no extra stuff on their voice. Guys that can just flat out sing.
Right.
Sammy doesn't have the hits, but boy can he sing.
Right.
Sang Ray J song. Ray J tried to sing his ballad One Wish, and I was like, I wish you shut the
front door.
You sound like a cat being strangled while it's being punched and set on fire.
And skinned at the same time.
At the same damn time. Like that was, but guess what? We all knew Ray J wasn't really a singer like that, but he had the hits like Sexy Can I and all that stuff. But we knew he couldn't really sing. But we gave him a pass because we was like, yo, that's Brandy, little brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for those who are my age and a little older, until he had that sex tape, after he had that sex tape with Kim Kardashian, that's when he became Ray J. Right. Before that, up until that point, it was Brandy's little brother. Oh, Brandy's little brother got a record, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he do?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What Brandy little brother doing on Moesha?
Yeah, oh my God.
Like
that dude is so annoying, bro.
Yes. And we saw arrogance on full display because all the people that can't sing couldn't carry a note in a bucket with a lid.
Right.
Yo,
and a handle. And a handle.
And a wheelbarrow to set it in. Like they talking cash, smack.
Right.
Like they can really sing like that. And I'm
the only person missing was Randy Watson, bro. Only person missing was Randy Watson.
And
Jackson Heights' very own.
And he would have cleaned some clocks out there. Now I'm gonna shoot a little bail and say the sound system wasn't really. They didn't have professionals or something. Maybe somebody took the night off. It was the interns. Right. This was what they call a cluster F.
Yeah.
Jeremiah came out there sounding bad. The only person that was missing was Trey Songz.
I was gonna say the only person missing was Mario Winans. That's what I was thinking. But Trey Songz, yeah, okay.
The only difference is Trey Songz probably got more hits than all of those dudes, and that's the thing that I have a problem with. That you shouldn't be talking the way you talking, and you can't back it up vocally.
Right.
Like they both sounded. Omarion has more hits than Mario.
Okay.
But Mario just flat out told. I mean, that boy's man. Listen, fresh Nikes out the box. I was like, oh, he go there. That's a wrap. Like they can go ahead and pull the plug on everything, cut the cameras off. Everybody walking out of here.
Yeah.
Trey Songz. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, Trey Songz did a tribute to Prince. Even Prince looked at him with the side eye, like, "What the?
Why?"
He sound like Scooby-Doo, butt naked in Alaska, being shocked by 10,000 votes.
with hot sauce on his tongue. With hot sauce on his tongue. Yeah.
You inspire me. Prince was like, what the? It was a meme. Like that Prince meme when he was like making that face. That was when Trey Songz was singing. Now, do I like Trey Songz music? Yep. Will I bump his music? Yep. But I had an opportunity to see him live. Still love his music. You don't have to like if yo man. Sometimes the best voices don't have the best records.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best rappers don't have the best records. I don't know how he can play. Yo, that joint is jamming, man.
Yeah. Ether. Yeah.
Jamming.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Shout out Soul Finger. Yes, that's exactly like I was like the audacity of these cats. Now it did get a little funky. I felt like Mario was, you watching these boys vocally, but then you kind of got in Tank's face a little bit, and I was like, slow down, love, please chill, pass. Like, come on, man, like, what are you doing? Like, that guy can sing.
Yeah.
Mario can't sing. Omarion shouldn't have been up there singing. Cause he sounded like this. Like where my heart used to be.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like,
yeah, Chuck, man. That's what Chuck. These dudes, bro. These dudes. This is why I tell people with talent or marginal talent, go for it. Right.
Yeah.
If you got talent or marginal talent, go for it. Right. Because there are people in front of you with no talent.
Right.
Go for it. Go for it. Do your thing. Right. Because in a lot of situations like this one, right? Sex sells. And I think sometimes we forget that. Like we forget that sex sells, right? Because we'll look at a R&B chick. I'll give you an example. We'll look at a Sierra, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not impressed by the way Sierra sings, right?
Right.
I am impressed by the way she looked, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, okay, I can see that. But then there is a female audience out there as well, right?
Right.
And they look at this the same way that we do, except from a different perspective. Right? And so, because I'm like, what? Ray J? What is that? What is a Ray J? Right? I have never been impressed by Ray J whatsoever. I'm like, what is that? But there were little girls his age that like to look at him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when he get in that bag, when he starts singing, and it's all super produced up with all the levels right, and or a ghost writer or something, or super
Ghost
dope
singer.
vocalist. What?
So that was brought to light by one of Omarion's group mates that he decided to call backup dancers. And it was like, listen, buddy, I ain't say nothing. Like your other two bandmates have been talking over years. I ain't say nothing. There's another guy that sung those vocals on all those songs. And I was like, oh, yeah. Now that I believe. You know why I believe? Because I saw what they did. What's lady name from the Weather Girls?
Martha Wash.
Martha Wash. You saw when CNC Music Factory try to pull that nonsense.
Right.
Like, you know good and well that girl ain't sing that song.
Oh, you talking about the model chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now she can sing. She could sing. She could sing, but she ain't sing like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, y'all trying to. So, I'm like, yo, bro, you can't. Don't diss those guys like that, because it's not like you were the Michael Jackson of the group.
Right.
Meaning you weren't the vocalist like that. To be like, man, these guys, my backup singers, man. I know that back in the day, if you could sing, you could be ugly as I don't know what, because I seen some of these album covers from the 70s.
Right.
Wowzers. But when you put them on, you like, man, he got an amazing voice. Like, how does ugly dude get a beautiful voice like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of Bob Dylan wasn't the greatest vocalist, but he got some of the some of the best songs.
Paul McCartney.
Not the best singer.
No.
Like
George Harrison was. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. George Harrison was. Go ahead.
Well, George Harrison was definitely a better singer than Paul McCartney. But Paul McCartney, and probably just as good as John Lennon. But sometimes you have to have that swag too, right? Because the arts is not about how good you are at a craft. It's about how you move people about that craft. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you can't move people, like say for instance, Crosby, Stills, and Nash can sing circles around Belle Biv DeVoe, right?
Right.
But if you were having a concert, I would say that Belle Biv DeVoe could probably draw as many people as they could with both in their primes, right? Like say for oh geez, what's it? The Eagles, because man, listen, the Eagles could sing, flat out sing, right? But then you're talking about like, did their early music drive people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Johnny Gill can flat out sing. Johnny Gill to me is a top 5 vocalist of all time, right? Cats that we think they can sing. Cats like Dave Hollister, Tank, probably wish they could sing like Johnny Gill, in my opinion. And I love Dave Hollister, right? Right? But when you start talking about like the upper echelon, the cream of the cream of the cream, then you're like, but these guys here, what do we, clearly, these dudes never could. And I'm talking about these dudes here wouldn't get solos in church. You know what I'm saying? These dudes right here wouldn't even sing in your church. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that they're so popular baffles my mind. It boggles my mind. Like these dudes right here, you wouldn't have none of these dudes sing a solo at a funeral. And they let anybody do that.
Yeah.
Well, not anybody, but I mean, within reason. So,
because I seen Keisha Cole in church. That pastor was like, he was looking like I shouldn't have gave her the mic.
Yeah.
She wasn't. All of that is fine. All of that is fine, man. Like, if you got a tune that I rock with, even if you're vocally challenged, it's like, yo, I rocks with that. It's still a hit. You know what I mean? And sometimes singers can do too much on a record. Just like how they do in church sometimes. When Jesus is.
And they doing the mic.
Like, is your portion. I get to it. Your portion.
Yeah.
Now, come on.
But sit your ass down, Tarzan.
Because I heard Jamie Foxx in an interview say, the first time he met Kanye, and Kanye wanted him to do I think she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Aaliyah. So he's like, I'm an R&B singer, so I go in there R&B-ing the hell out of that song. Because, Jamie Foxx can sing.
Jamie Foxx.
And Kanye looked at him and was like, nah, I need you to do it like this.
Right.
And he's like, oh, this ain't gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna be a hit because you want the R&B guy to get on here and I'm singing and you got me almost talking.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what happens when you deal with singers. They'll put a little too much on it, and the producer and everybody in the studio like, man, we can't put this out.
Right.
Too many, you know what I'm saying? Whereas someone who may not be, hey man, just say it like this. Right. Also, the studio, you can have as many times as you need to take to get it right. If anybody saw Straight Outta Compton,
right?
The first session with Eazy-E when he jumped on the mic, and how many times they had to keep doing it over and over.
Right.
That's the luxury of being in the studio, right?
Right.
You can do it over and over till the pitch is right, till you enunciate the words right. Now the engineer is able to add some reverb and some compression, maybe some auto-tune or pitch correct,
right.
To make it sound, to glue it together to make it sound like something. But you can't walk around talking like, yo, if they would have just sung the songs, even if they would have still sound the way they sounded, I'd have been like, yeah, well, everybody don't sound good live. These guys are dancing, so they should be out of breath. It should be a little whatever. But to talk like you can sing anybody under the table, and you get up there and do that. Shout out to you guys bringing up Jamie Foxx's terrible movie choices in the beginning of his career. Held Up. You forgot Bait. You know what? Yeah. Bait wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't a good movie.
I don't like Jamie Foxx I just don't like him as an actor. I like him in that. I like him in TV roles. Not a major motion picture actor. I ain't really.
Not even in Ray.
I'll give him that one, and I'll give him Ray. Right, I'll give him Ray, but it's not just because he took a character that we didn't know about. Because a lot of the thing about Ray is we already had liked Ray before that.
Right.
So all Jamie Foxx had to do was not mess it up. Dreamgirls.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like him in Dreamgirls?
Yeah, I liked him in Dreamgirls.
Did you like him in any? You liked him in Any Given Sunday? I liked him in Any Given Sunday, and I liked him in Dreamgirls, and I liked him in Ray, right? But what I'm saying is like when you take this dude, when he has to take a part and have you and him grow it, then I'm like, yeah, no, not really. Yeah. I mean, see, the thing about Dreamgirls is the dude that he played is a real person. We are not a real person, but somebody that was portrayed before. We knew the character already. Is what I'm getting at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah. So I like Jamie Foxx on the small screen. I like the Jamie Foxx show. I like Shazam. But say if Jamie Foxx was to do a mythical character you never heard of, and Jamie Foxx had to grow that character into somebody that you liked.
Okay.
It's kind of like the opposite of Eddie Murphy. I don't want Eddie Murphy playing somebody that already. I want to have Eddie Murphy take a character. For instance, I loved this movie called Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I love that movie because Eddie Murphy took a dude that you didn't know nothing about, and he could add he could put the Eddie Murphy magic to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love this movie by Eddie Murphy called The Golden Child, right? I like that movie because Eddie Murphy put the Eddie Murphy magic to it early on in the Eddie Murphy days. Beverly Hills Cop, right? Eddie Murphy could put the Eddie Murphy magic to it. But Jamie Foxx, I think he shines in those templates that are already like you knew who Ray was. Like when you heard Ray and when you saw Jamie Foxx at the keyboard doing boom, 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 boom. You already knew just by hearing those three little things, you already knew what was coming. So it wasn't even about Jamie Foxx. It was about that song and the memory that song, man, hit the road. For people that like for baseball fans in the chat, think about this. Your team is losing 2-0, right? And then they rally to score 5 runs and that bottom of the inning, and then they start playing boom, 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 boom. And the other team managers start walking out the bullpen. They playing Hit the Road Jack for the pitcher because he gave up all these runs. And now, you know what I'm saying, they got somebody coming in from the bullpen, and all this stuff is related to you understand the situation. And that song Hit the Road applies perfectly to this situation. So when you see Jamie Foxx in the hotel going through this thing he got the pencil, he trying to figure out all this stuff. And so it was not, that moment is not about Jamie Foxx, it's about that song. And like for instance, when you heard Georgia on My Mind, it was about the song and not Jamie Foxx. You feel me? You see what I'm talking about?
I see where you're going.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Jamie Foxx as an actor because I gave him credit because I like him better on the small screen. It's just my preference, right? That's just my preference. I'm not saying that he's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's just my preference, and I can say the opposite for Eddie Murphy, who when he played Prince Hakeem, You like, this is perfect. Eddie Murphy get to work his Eddie Murphy magic for
Yeah.
brand new characters that you ain't ever seen before. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's all.
So, so, Mom Dukes lives in Queens, and we don't live too far where McDonald's used to be. It was really a McDonald's, but they moved it up the block, and they built apartments in that area now. But all they want to go take pictures on Queens Boulevard at the McDonald's. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We on the train, Jackson Heights. You know where that barbershop at? Man, if you don't sit your your behind down.
Right.
But yeah, man. Jamie Foxx was kind of hit and miss for sure. Oh, White House Down. Yeah, the movie with him and Shannon Tatum.
I thought that was Gerard.
No.
Was that White House?
Those movies came out at the same time.
Oh,
they came out at the same time.
Okay.
Jamie was White House Down, and Gerard Butler's was
Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Right.
They were the same movies that came out at the same time. Only thing that different is nothing.
Nothing.
Because the president's black, the bodyguard or the security was a white guy. And I was like, did both of these studios get this script?
Yeah, probably. And race to put them out, probably.
Right.
It
I was like,
it happens with remember Armageddon and oh geez, what's the other one? Armageddon and the other comet, the one with Morgan Freeman. But they came
not Mercury Rising.
I forgot the name of it, man. I forgot.
I can't. It's Deep Impact. There you go.
Deep Impact. Yeah. And I think I prefer Deep Impact better. But either way, it might be. I don't know which one, but I enjoyed both of them. All right, but the one I'm just not a fan of Ben Affleck, bro. I can legit put Ben Affleck in his whack ass Batman movies and all this in a slingshot and fling him into the sun. Him and Alfred Payton jump shot. Alfred Payton jump shot. Ben Affleck movies. What else? What else I can do? What else can I do without? Paris Hilton. The Paris Hilton song. Remember the Paris Hilton song? I could take the Paris Hilton song, Ben Affleck, Alfred Payton's jump shot, all those stupid Medea movies. I could put them all in the same slingshot and just pluck them into the sun.
Man, listen. I didn't like any of the movies. I didn't really care for any of the television shows. Like my grandmother and my aunts and a lot of my folks from the South love the plays. And I can't, there's probably like two of the plays I like, but I'm a sucker for good singing. And with the plays, he ain't never played with the cast. Like everybody could sing. Everybody. They had Baby G from Silk.
Yeah.
On it, man. But anyway, the movies were terrible.
Is he a top 10 underrated singer to you?
Top 10 underrated.
Yeah.
That is a great question. No one's ever asked that before. Uncle, I'm gonna have to really think about this. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. But I think Silk as a group don't get as much respect as they should.
Okay. So let me bash Silk real quick. Their song choices are terrible. Right? I'm not saying listen, I'm not saying the songs they release. I'm not talking about their when you listen to their albums, sometimes they have songs you're like, what?
Yeah.
So notice I said listen to their album because I'm a Silk fan and I buy Silk albums, right? One of my favorite songs of all time is a title track from them. It's the title track to their album. It's a song called Lose Control.
Oh my goodness. I knew you was about to say that.
Yeah.
I knew you was about to say that.
One of my favorite songs of all time, Lose Control. Right?
Boy, I did some things. You hear me?
Yes. I'm telling you, bro, Lose Control. I had a and don't judge me, y'all, but I had a tape, right? And I had these two songs on it. And I used to compete. It's like competing songs. One was a song called Lose Control by Silk. Mm-hmm. And the other was a song called Taking My Time by After 7. Bro, you have never heard a song. Man, listen, Taking My Time. Bro, Kevon Edmonds getting his. Bro, that's what. So I'm talking about Baby G and Kevon Edmonds on the same show that I'm talking about Ray J. That just lets you know the step up and bruh, Ray J, man, what? Ray J? Oh, Marion? Even Sammy and Mario better not say nothing if Kevon Edmonds is in a room. They better not even ask where the bathroom at. You feel me? Like something like Kevon Edmonds, and people think I hate Babyface when I say this, but Kevon Edmonds will sing Babyface under a table, right? They brothers.
No, that's a fact.
People forget that they brothers. They are brothers, right? But bro, Taking My Time, and when you hear the lyrics to Taking My Time, like, bro, listen. And later on, I added a song by 112. Like I got this thing, like this rotating thing. Like back then I had it on the tape. Now I have it on my phone as a playlist, right? I added this song called Player by 112, right? To that. And people forget 112 had put out so much music and it's in a stretch of time that people remember the heavy organ orchestration of songs like Peaches and Cream. You know what I mean? Peaches and Cream. But when you get on 112 albums, the opposite of Silk, 112. Chuck, you remember the album 112 by 112?
Yes.
I will play that album front to back for a whole day straight. Right? For a whole day straight. That's my preference, right? Because I think the song choices, the lyrics, the singing, all are a perfect blend. It matches that group.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Silk, on the other hand, has good singers and they don't have a style. Right? That was always my knock on Silk. I think Silk is a bunch of great church singers, like gospel singers that do R&B, but they don't have swag. I think they copied I think they copied Jagged Edge's style and slowed it down a lot. And so they don't. Silk doesn't have an identity. There it is. Bim. There it is.
Okay.
Right? Because think about it. Aside from their singing, what else does Silk do?
But that's all they're supposed to do. Sing. They're supposed to sing, right? Sing real good.
Because entertainers supposed to be entertainers. Everything about them supposed to be dope. They clothes, they cars, they houses, they personalities. And like for instance, I challenge anybody in the chat right now to name another person in the group Silk. Name another person in the group. See what I mean? And so I'm not knocking Silk. I'm not knocking because they can sing. It's just
they can sing. They can sing. Because they got joints. They got joints. Like
they got a lot of joints, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of joints. It's a couple groups out there that don't want no problems with them on that versus stage. I can tell you that for sure.
On that versus stage,
yeah. On the versus stage, there is a bunch of groups. Because when I used to make my
meeting in my bedroom,
if feeling like loving me, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
are you kidding me,
bro? I'm saying
I had that thing blasting. I ain't even hear my grandma coming up the stairs. I was knee deep. Oh, I turned that radio down. I said, "Oh, put everything on."
Yeah,
like, come on, man. Like they got. I wanna lick you up and down till you say stop.
But that's key. But that's Keith Sweat. When you hear that, you thinking Keith Sweat, bro.
Yeah.
You don't think Silk. You thinking like, okay, Keith. So this is a Keith Sweat song.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Silk. I'm just saying that in terms of for instance, the swag that Ray J brings to the table keep Ray J in people's memories. Like he keep that stuff keep Ray J relevant, right? Ray J is always relevant because he stays relevant in a sense. Like he's relatable. The Cats in Silk,
right?
For instance, the difference between New Edition and Troop is that New Edition had a tremendous drip about them that made you, for instance, excuse me, is Ralph Tresvant a better lead singer than the two lead singers from Troop? Hell no.
No.
Hell no. And Troop did have two lead singers, by the way. People forget. Like they had two dudes two lead singers. Right. Is Johnny Gill a better lead singer than anybody in Troop or anybody in Oakland or anybody in California, anybody on the West Coast? Johnny Gill better than anybody, right? From that era, right? Nobody from that era. Maybe Gerald Levert vocally could challenge Johnny Gill, depending on the Johnny Gill had better up tempos. Huh?
It depends.
I don't think Gerald Levert had dope up tempos except Good Old Days.
Oh,
remember that?
Casanova.
Oh, I forgot about Casanova. You right. That's the first joint we probably heard. Yeah, Casanova.
Yes.
Good Old Days. But that's about it. Like up tempo. I'm talking about up tempo, not mid tempo. Because I think it was Casanova mid tempo or up tempo.
No, I was up tempo. You definitely dance
okay.
that joint.
Okay. Yeah, and so, but the thing is, Troop didn't have a Johnny Gill in it, right?
Right.
But Troop had a dude, a very underrated dude, which is why I say if you got some kind of talent, just pursue it. Because the dude JoJo that joined the group that was in Troop, once he got singing lessons, once he got professional singing lessons, once they took him from a dude that was just a dancer to a dude that got professional vocal training, the dude could sing his ass off. Right? The dude could sing his ass off. Now, is he a lead singer? No. Right? But when you hear him in the background behind the two lead singers, you're like, oh, they got a third voice. You know what I'm saying? It's like the other two dudes, they harmonize, whatever. Every group needs harmony. You know what I'm saying? For certain ranges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why Boys II Men was so good, not because they had three dudes that could be lead singers, but because the fourth dude, they bass man, was an excellent harmonizer. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent harmonizer. The bass dude. The dude that would just jump in, the dude that always would do the Michael Bivins parts. Come and get
girl,
this.
you know,
I love you. And you're so kiss.
I'm a simp in this silk
suit
on my knees, begging you to come back to me.
Yeah, I got on the baseball cap, baby. Look at my eyes. Him, oh soft ass.
Oh,
yeah, but he was a good harmonizer, like Otis from the Temptations. Otis and Blue from the Temptations. They were excellent harmonizers.
Ain't nobody come to hear you sing Otis.
Yeah.
Which was true, and that's why Otis could never like, yo, man, listen, you wanted to be about the Temps because you can't stand out here and do what we do. You can't sing like Paul. You can't sing like Eddie. You can't sing like me. You can't sing like Dennis.
Right. But what he could do is organize all these egomaniacs and make sure that they stay there so that everybody can get paid. Right? Because all those dudes that you mentioned on their own, when they went solo, they had one big hit and a bunch of moderate stuff that people came on to appreciate later. Right? You know what I'm saying? But in that time, they were looking to get paid right then. So us appreciating their stuff in 2022 don't mean nothing. Because they weren't getting checks back then for stuff in 2022. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is keep these egos in check and remember that even if you do want to go off and do stuff, you got to take care of the mothership. Kind of like with us in Blawrence Tears, how we always take care of the mothership. Blawrence Tears is the mothership. No matter what I go off and do on the side, I always make sure the mothership taken care of. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of the mothership. She feeding everybody, and we all Vibes and stuff is here right now because Blawrence Tears is paying the internet bill. It's paying StreamYard. Blawrence Tears is paying everything, so we could do other stuff because Blawrence Tears is doing. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to that, what I'm saying is when you look at a Troop in a New Edition, the reason why Troop is Troop and New Edition is still eating today is because the swag, because Belle DeVille DeVoe didn't really have much vocal talent. Ronnie now can sing after all these years of professional vocal training, but day one, now he ain't no singer. Nah.
No. But here's the thing. If it wasn't for Ricky Bell,
right,
that would have like fizzled. But man, boy, that first album was chock full of hits.
Talking about BBD?
Yeah, BBD's first album, that joint had nothing but hit records on there. Like everybody know Poison, but thought it was me. Thought it was me
Yeah.
that made that girl this way.
Yeah.
Do me,
Yeah.
baby.
And so the story behind it is listen, you can't have a whole bunch of Ricky Bell singing "When Will I See You Smile Again." No, you got to have some Mike Bivins getting LL and Busta Rhymes to write rap verses for him, so they get backstage, underage, adolescent. How you doing? Fine.
She
Mike
replied,
Bivins.
I let it do the wild thing.
Yeah,
Actually took
Mike Bivins.
place. Okay, while we're talking about that, Unc, you're gonna have to break something down for me, because for the life of me, once I got in my teenage years, because when I first heard the song, I was still a little jit, running around doing the running man, and so I was like, okay, you were backstage, underage, adolescent. How you doing? So you was knocking off grown women as an adolescent, or y'all was getting your tails on,
or vice versa, or
okay.
vice versa. Yeah,
Okay.
vice versa. Remember these dudes at the time were like, they age ranges like 17, 18, 19, right? And remember the dude that wrote the verse? The dude that wrote the verse is 16. 17. Busta Rhymes. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, now this all came full circle, because I know Busta sampled Poison for his, I guess, the last album that he did.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for that. I didn't
care for
really care for that. I was like, they could have left that. Like, that record is so iconic.
Right.
There's no way you haven't heard that song at least 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Since it's come out. Like, you could be in the barbershop, you could be at a sporting event, you could be at a club where ain't nothing but kids in there 20, 25 and younger. They will still play that record and everyone will still hit the floor.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's only a handful of records I've seen that make everybody go, oh! I mean,
yeah.
Everybody. There's only a handful of records like that's what, like 30 years old, 35 year old. 35?
Came out in 1990. Yep.
Wow.
So let me do the timeline, right? So fall of 89, Ralph Tresvant releases a song. New Edition released all their joints like 88, right? Just like Bobby Brown come out with this joint, and the video come on, like everybody like, yo, Bobby Brown had that joint, Girlfriend. It was a cute little song, Girlfriend, and then he's right now, and then he had this joint for Ghostbusters. Remember the Ghostbusters movie came out? Bobby Brown had the little joint in the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
Little joint, that was the too hot handle, too cold hold. Call the Ghostbusters and I'm in control. Throw it for a bunch of ghosts. Oh yeah.
So he had that, but that wasn't Bobby's style, and everybody knew it. They wanted Bobby to be a crooner, but Bobby is wild as fuck. So Bobby wanted to do his own album,
right,
in the line of a Janet Jackson. Remember, Janet Jackson had a album that came out that started in 86, came out 87, an album called Control. Where she didn't want to sing nobody else's songs. She wanted her own stuff.
Right.
Ain't nobody controlling me. I'm 18. I'm a grown woman. Hey, Janet, newsflash. When you 18, you legal, but you ain't really grown when you 18. You legal, but you ain't really grown. So anyway, Bobby come out. He want to do the same thing. So as soon as, no lie, Chuck, no lie, right? Hand to the man. I'm standing on the corner and Kiss is like the new joint for Bobby Brown, and they playing, and you hear his tires screeching, and you're like, oh, and Bobby Brown murdered a stretch, right?
Oh,
he
yeah.
was he and so for people that can't keep track, New Edition had a joint called not my type of girl or something. Sorry, a type of, and you're the kind of girl. All the pop thing,
Bubblegum
and then
pop.
and then they came out with a more soulful ballad. Can You Stand the Rain, right? And then after that, they released Heartbreak.
Yes.
You know, so they released a joint called Heartbreak, right? But initially, Bobby Brown was murdering them, and they were still getting murdered by a dude named Albie Shaw, who just jumped on the scene from out of nowhere.
Him and his dude, Brown.
Yes, he was everything New Edition wanted to be, but bigger, right? He was like a 6'3" dude, good looking, curly hair, could dance by himself, getting all the money by himself, not splitting it with 5 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they just murder. And you New Edition, you're like, damn, I'm getting all the bread by himself.
I want to do that.
Yes. And then Ralph releases a joint that still to this day, to me, sound like Phil Collins, Philip Bailey. Remember the joint Sensitivity?
I need a man with 2 really big titties. A man like me.
Yeah.
What are you singing, sir?
Yeah, with the silk curtains and the shirt off and all this.
Don't need a man to give you money.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. He's straight up late 70s, early 80s. Like he is like Kashif, Miles J, Phil Collins type of song. The song is dope. It was definitely radio friendly, right? New Edition. They like, okay, not Ralph Tresvant, but Johnny Gill 2 months later come out with this joint called Rub You the Right Way. And you look in and you like, okay, he is the opposite of New Edition. He can't dance. He not cool.
Nope.
He don't have no swag.
None.
But he has a voice.
Amazing.
And anytime Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and LA and Babyface is fighting over you to give you stuff to sing,
it's over.
Right. LA and Babyface and Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis fighting over you. Yeah. And so if you Belle Biv DeVoe and you watching, you're like, man, what am I going? Yo, there's a lane for us.
What is we gonna do, boss?
Yeah, and there is a lane for us because this song that we always play that's a hit at our concerts. This song called Heartbreak. It's just another N-E heartbreak break. And so Heartbreak is the template for Belle Biv DeVoe. People don't realize that. People think Belle Biv DeVoe just came from out of nowhere with no whatever. But they used to always have like these little cuts on the album, like New Edition had it back in the day, not Popcorn Love, but a song called Did You Get It Yet? Did you get it yet? Get it yet? Get it? Ooh, my secret. Oh
yeah.
Did you get it yet? Get it yet? Get it yet? Yeah, that's the Belle Biv DeVoe template. That's Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I mean, that's Ronnie, Mike, and Ricky, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing, and like every time they would bust into a little rap or whatever on the little song, that was the BBD template. People think it was all about Candy Girl. Nah, Mike was always pushing those 3. They like, these dudes sing the whole album, give us 2 songs. And when you go back to the albums, you always see like 2 or 3 songs where it's like Mike and Ronnie and Ricky just doing a thing on the album. Right. And so Albie Shaw busting them up. Albie Shaw, and this is a true story. Albie Shaw is so hot at this time, 88, like coming off his first album. that Albie Shore is turning down songs left and right. And so he turns down this song by Spider-Man and Freeze called Poison.
Yep.
Right? I'm sure I ain't singing no damn Poison. Can you imagine Albie Shore? That girl is poison. That shit would have been so soft. That shit would have been so soft. And so Mike hears the song. He like, yo, you ever thought about doing the Coogee Rap sample on it? These dudes is like, Coogee Rap sample?
Poison.
Yeah, he like Poison. Y'all ain't never heard Poison? And they Poison.
Oh.
So they take the Coogee Rap thing and put it on this R&B mid-tempo song, bass up the drums. Mike comes out like, before we do this, we gonna let people know who Belle Biv DeVoe is. And yo, hip hop smoothed out on the R&B tip with the rap feel appeal to it. And they say it throughout the album, saying the whole thing, so you'll know what BBD is. And then, so I'm watching BET, right? I just know, like, I had just bought this tape. I bought 2 tapes. I bought a Gangstar tape and an Allison Williams tape. You remember Allison Williams? Just Call My Name. My Love Is Raw. Just call my name and I'll come running. The Allison Williams thing, right? I walk in. I'm about to throw Gangstar in the tape deck, and I hear the drums. Bump, 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 bump. I'm like, oh, what is that? And then Mike Bivens come on. He's like, yo, BBD is such and such and such. Now back to the video. And the girl walk across the video with them pumps on. And they play the drums again. And then Coogee Rap sample come in. Poison, poison, poison. And you're like, oh. Belle Biv DeVoe just took out Bobby Brown and New Edition and Johnny Gill.
Yep. Yo, that song was so fine, so flames.
Right.
Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm just saying this, and anybody that has knowledge can definitely correct me on this. But it was so flames that Michael Bivens decides we're going to have to get the same exact sound for my group, Another Bad Creation.
Yep.
Because Aisha definitely sounds like in the same vein of Poison.
The East
But
Coast
that was produced by Dallas Austin, another musical genius.
Yep. The East Coast family. They had even you remember Candyman? Knocking the Boots? Yeah.
Yo. Yep.
East Coast family. Yep. All of them.
Come on, chat. Y'all remember the Candyman?
Yep. All of them. Mike, the album was so dope because it did New Edition in reverse order. It didn't feed you a bunch of mid-tempo love songs followed up by a ballad, and then you had to listen to the album for the street radio stuff. Belle Biv DeVoe did it in reverse order. The street club songs, then a ballad, and then the mid-tempo joints is on the album. Right. And that was the secret to their success. The secret to their success was not the secret to their success is we're not Ralph Tresvant, we're not Bobby Brown, we're not Johnny Gill, and we ain't gonna try to be that. This is Belle Biv DeVoe. We're gonna tell you who we are up front, right? We're gonna get up here, we're gonna dance nasty, we're gonna look like Rick James, Confunction, and all the street rappers all roll into one. We're gonna try to dance with your girl at the club. We're gonna call your wife on stage and grind with all nasty, even though we R&B singers. You know what I'm saying? And so people are like, yo, that's crazy. But Michael Bivens told you up front, the first when Michael Bivens said, this is who we are, the first word out of his mouth is what, Chuck? You remember the first words out of his mouth? The first words out of his mouth. Who is Belle Biv DeVoe? Hip hop. That's the first thing he say. Hip hop, smoothed out on the R&B tip.
Yep.
With a pop feel appeal to it. So Belle Biv DeVoe is hip hop.
Yes.
That's what he's saying off rip, right? And people were like, I don't think Belle Biv DeVoe gonna make it. Nah, they gonna make it because there is a lane between rappers that need hip hop to cross over to the radio, right? And then there is R&B, right? That needs street cred hip hop to get more record sales. But there is nobody that's doing both at the same time.
Nope.
Right? And Belle Biv DeVoe got in that lane with Poison. And now you have dudes like Ray J.
Whoa. God dang.
Now you have dudes like Bobby Valentino. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't. No. No. Bobby V. I like Bobby V. I liked him ever since Blackberry Molasses.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah, Mr. was fire.
Yeah, right. Now, if you mention any of the other groups, young boy groups that were out at that time, like Immature,
yeah,
like they were in that lane because they ain't really sing that good, and they always had someone that rap. First, it was, I don't know if he was Chinese or Mexican. And then
I know.
When they were real small, but then when they got older and became IMX, then they had a different dude,
right,
in the group, and I was like, oh, okay.
They actually replaced the one dude, the younger dude. He wasn't. He was black, but he just looked like it. You talking about the drummer, the dude they put on the drums, even though he couldn't play drums. The youngest one, the little one, the baby, baby. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he black. He just they put him on. They like, yeah, he can't really do nothing. He ain't no singer, no nothing. Just put him on some damn drums. You know, he brought that to the group. He was just like the eye candy thing. Just put him in the group. He cute. You know, but the dude, the redhead dude. Remember the redhead dude that was in the group?
Yes.
The one that had wore the eye patch.
Yes.
This dude wanted to be a street dude. He the dude that they replaced, and he kept coming in and out of the group. He trying to sell dope or do whatever, the street like Detroit, whatever. And he's like, you the worst drug dealer ever, bro. How you a drug dealer and you broke? You're a broke dope boy. You come back to the group to make some money so you can go back and sell dope. You stupid.
That's ridiculous.
you stupid. You're a stupid little boy. You know what I'm saying? but yeah, man. The Belle Biv DeVoe thing, to me, if you talk about the successes of this group, in my opinion, is Belle Biv DeVoe because they actually established something. Johnny Gill is good at something, great at something, all time at something that a lot of people are great at. Like we could compare him to Aaron Hall, Gerald Levert, your Freddie Jacksons, your Luthers, and all them guys. You can compare him to them.
O'Neal's,
yeah, you can compare him to them, but that lane is already established. That lane been established. That's the Teddy P lane, the Marvin Gaye lane, the Sam Cooke lane. You know what I'm saying? That lane is already. But Belle Biv DeVoe established something, bro. Like these dudes, like you got two dudes in the group that can sing. Like at the time, Ronnie wasn't a featured singer, but over the years, after all this professional vocal training, and Mike cannot sing. Right? Let's not even. Mike is not a singer, but he is a man. Listen, an organizer, the business guy. Man, listen, you need a Michael Bivins on your team somewhere, right?
Absolutely. You need an Otis.
Yeah, you got to have it. You got to have a Paul McCartney. You got to have an Otis. You got to have a Michael Bivins. Right. You got to have somebody that's going to hold the group together because what happens is with these lead singers, they go out on tour and these girls scream their name in every city on the tour and they forget about the group, right? They think about their talent, right? The dude that's the organizer, He like, no matter how big this dude ego get, listen, you know what? You need a Cool from Kool in the Gang. No matter how you need my man from the Commodores. Like no matter how many lead singers come and go, the Commodore's still gonna be here. Kool in the Gang still gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? You need that guy, right? You got to have that guy, right? But the point I was getting at though with Troop and New Edition is on the back end of Troop, you didn't have nothing, right? And the back end of Troop, you ain't had, and rest in peace to the brother that passed away, but and Troop, you didn't know what their identity was, right? You're like, okay, this song by Troop is all right, but what did they bring to the table? Right? It's like what I dislike about Common in the early years of Common. Like, you know, Common was a street rapper. He was broke and he rapped about all this stuff about like being broke and bringing certain things and all of that, right? But who was Common? Common was just a dude. But when he started establishing the identity, you can relate with him. Hey, DSJ says, wasn't that his stage name, Stupid Little Boy? Yeah, he was a stupid little boy. He a stupid grown man now, I think he in jail. I hope he not. But the last I saw, he was like dealing with like legal issues and stuff over some mess. Hey, Chuck, why wasn't Marcus Houston in his verses?
He shouldn't have been. None of those people that was in verses should have been there. And Marcus Houston can't be around children.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. That's crazy.
So like those guys you haven't seen together since, you know, they all roll together, you know. Ray J.
Hey, did you hear about the origin of it though?
Yeah.
They producers, y'all listen, I don't know how accurate any of this stuff is. And this is like second or third hand info. But the producers was molesting immature. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Chris Stokes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when the young fella was talking about it from B2K.
Yeah.
And he was like, it started with them. It started with immature.
Yep.
And trickled down to them. And then he went into detail about the things that were happening. And I was just like, wow.
Where the parents at?
You know exactly where the parents are. Counting checks, man. Making deposits. You know, you have to understand, in this business, man, if they ain't trying to, you know, screw you out of your money, publishing, you know, royalties, show money, you know, people will lie to you and tell you, oh no, man, this is just a promotional tour, you know, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, they getting 10,000 pop.
Right. And you doing 2 shows a night.
Right.
7:30 and 10:30.
And then your manager talking to you like he doing you a favor. Oh man, I know y'all guys want something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Here's some money to get something to eat. Like, yo, how many of these free shows we gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you know, parents, a lot of these parents see their kids as a cash cow. Yep. And they don't think about the well-being of their child.
The long-term well-being, they do not.
They don't. That's why a lot of these child stars burn out very quickly. You like, yo, how in the world? Like, how does this happen?
Right.
You know, if they're not offering themselves, they get so deep into drugs and stuff, and that should let you know that there's something going on.
Right.
Something's wrong.
Right.
And you can't always just like. Here's the thing. You want to know that. Here's the real thing. Don't nobody care about men and little boys.
Right.
There's a concern, and as there should be for women, right? But when we're talking, 12, 13, 14-year-old boys, being coerced into doing things that they're not, ready for.
Right.
But we don't look at it. We don't look at it.
These boys like 9, 10 years old.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but still don't look at it the same way if it was a 9-year-old girl, which is wild. It's a 9-year-old, right. regardless of their sexual, their sex. They are a child.
Right.
What the F is wrong with you?
Right.
But that's one of those things that they say about Hollywood. In a nutshell, like that stuff is prominent. Look no further than the Kevin Spacey. Like word, bro.
What? Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. He's in court now, or getting ready to go to court for raping a 16-year-old boy. And he says he thought the sex was consensual. You can't have consensual sex with a underage person. Well, not even say person, child.
Right.
But Hollywood is, you know why? Because no one said anything to Russell Simmons when he was walking around, going to award shows on red carpets with Kamora Lee on his arm. 16 at the time. 16. This is not rumors or anything. Go back. When she first came on the scene with him, she was 16.
Is that the baby fat lady?
Yeah.
Russell Simmons need his man.
That's why he moved out of the country. That's why all his stuff got sold. Def Jam, that imprint. He gathered his ducats and he got out of Dodge. He got out of Dodge. Like weird stuff like that goes on. Like if you want to go back further than that, Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. John Lennon. The Great Balls of Fire dude.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yes.
Elvis. like Jerry Lee Lewis was so bad. Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin. There's a I think is it called Mike Judd's Tales from the Tour Bus? They do a little, doc on him, right? Jerry Lee Lewis. And he was able to get his career back.
Yeah.
He was able to get his career back by doing what? Traveling the Chitlin circuit.
Yep.
And then they finally let him back in. So I was like, bro, not only are you a Chester molester, your own cousin?
Yeah. This is disgusting,
morning, bro. Salute.
Yeah, this is disgusting, bro. This is This is so frustrating to me. That's
why they tell you not to. Mm-hmm.
This is so disgusting to me that we allow. See, the thing is, oh, okay. I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm gonna be honest, totally honest. I saw dudes sell weed like in the 80s, get the book thrown at them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The book. Dudes is getting like 13 years. And you like, for weed?
For weed.
Bro, you getting 13 years. So as you found guilty, this is my thing. Now hear me out, because I'm going somewhere with this, right? Okay, you got weed. It's against the law. We all know it. You got caught, right? Okay, everybody understand selling weed is illegal. And I'm talking about in the 80s. Selling weed is illegal. You had a whole bunch of it. They were trying to catch you for a long time. When they kick in the door, you haul ass. They had to chase you for like 3 or 4 days. They got a manhunt thing going on. They already got all the stuff in the hotel room. You was all this stuff. They finally catch you, you know what I'm saying, like 4 o'clock in the morning. You on the 6 a.m. news, coming out the thing with your wave cap on. You know what I'm saying? God, that's my cousin right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody phone ringing off the hook in the kitchen. Yo, Rico on the news. And we looking, Rico coming out the thing with a wave cap and a wife beater. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, right? Like, why Rico ain't run? You know what I'm saying? Like the city police try to catch you and you get caught in the city. 4 days. You know the cops got a manhunt. You still in the city. Chuck, you still in the city. The police, everybody is hot. You know, they looking for you, all this stuff. And you still in the city that they chasing you? You an idiot. Anyway, he go to all this stuff, drag out, you know what I'm saying, bond, all the, we paying money. Hey, we need to get money to help him get, we don't want him to have a public defender and all this stuff, all this money about to be wasted because he's guilty, right? He guilty. Why are we going to pay wait a minute, you going to pay a lawyer he guilty. They got you on tape. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like this thing, right? And so you go to court, they come back, they deliberate for like 2 hours, they come back, they find you guilty, right? And then sentencing is after that. So we like, he guilty. You know what I'm saying? Now we know he going down here. We like to say he going up the road, right? So it's like it's like that weird middle time where you found guilty, and now you're going up the road, and then you go, you're going to all this stuff, and then you're trying to figure out what to do from there, and then you get sentenced. We're like, yo, Rico, man, just do these, you know what I'm saying, these 3 or 4 years. They'll probably give you 6. You'll probably be home in 2. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. We get there and the judge start talking. I hate you kind of individuals. You know how Chuck, you ever been to a sentencing?
Yeah.
Then the judge get on his high horse. I'm going to do everything in my power to keep your kind off these streets. You ruin these communities. Yep. And while he talking, the family could legit blow the judge away, right? How you gonna talk down to this man? This family about to lose a loved one. This loved one about to go, you know what I'm saying? We thinking like get sentenced to 6. He about to do 2, right? The judge like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep your kind off these streets. He giving out sentences. 13 years for this, 13 years for that, 13 years for such and such, 13. You're like, 13 years, all to be ran concurrent, which means like even if he got 13, he could have probably did 4.5. Nah, now he gets sentenced to this. He got to do like 10 years. If he got good behavior, it might be longer than that. And so you like, and so you like, it ain't even fair. It ain't even fair that a dude that sell weed gets sentenced to in the 80s, Chuck. In the 80s, 13 years in the 80s. So now his three little boys got my grandma gotta raise his three little boys because his mama can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So now my grandmother gotta do all of the, raise these little boys, and they missing they for every day. Hey, where my daddy at? And you like, your daddy going away. He ain't gonna be back for a real long time. Hey, Chuck, you don't pass out on us? My bad, Chuck. My bad, man. I'll wrap it up, man. My bad. I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up, man. My bad. But yeah, man, my thing is like my man get 13 years, right? And then these celebrities go to Hollywood and do whatever it is that they want to do. Touch little boys, do all the drugs. Who don't know that drugs are big time business in Hollywood? Who don't know that? Right? These dudes out here doing all the drugs and all the little girls and all the raping and all that stuff that they want to do. And they drag this thing out in court. And then get no time, get found not only not guilty, they get found innocent.
Right.
Not guilty, they get found innocent and be like, yeah, I trusted the legal process, knowing that they paid off everybody along the way so things can go in their favor. But Rico, a dude that's trying to, trying to make some money to feed his family in a town where the plant done moved out of, these dudes, the only reason why they even doing this is so they can make money to feed their family. Because whatever the textile, the Nike, say for instance, the Nike plant done moved, the Nike plant moved to Mexico. Now the building just there. Nobody got a job, so they just selling weed in order to make some money.
Right.
But these Weinstein got all these other dudes. It just frustrates me, bro. I'm just, yeah. So Kevin Spacey, this thing made me sick to my stomach, bro.
And all he did was say, "Oh, my bad."
Right.
And for those who wanted to know, yes, I'm gay. Obviously, sir.
Really?
Obviously.
What gave that away?
Yeah, man. So this is no excuse, but yeah, man, I do think that there are people with problems that go beyond, just raping someone is a horrendous act, right? I think something has to be wrong with you to want to rape anyone.
Right.
But as a man, to throw another man down, come on, bro. Like, what's really going on here? Like, being gay is one thing, bro. But throwing a child down and forcing yourself on a child, like, that's a little boy. Like,
right.
But he continued to act. He continued
right.
to and people were upset. People were upset when that kid came out, and not because it was so many people. Why he wait so long before he said anything? Because don't nobody care about male molestation and rape.
Right.
They don't. Not at all. Like you can't say to a 10-year-old boy, man, what's the matter? You don't like no noonie? Yeah, but the noonie coming from a 30-something-year-old lady. He shouldn't
Yeah.
like it.
Right.
Like he 10, his mind shouldn't be on that.
Right.
But it's, one of those things about not caring about men in general, that men is just supposed to, shrug it off and keep it going. Rub some dirt in it, you'll be all right.
Right.
Right. But if you were to flip that and say a 30-year-old man on a 10-year-old girl, they'd be saying put him under the jail.
Kill him.
Yeah. They as a matter of fact, there was a news story from overseas, this is UK, where a guy had shoplifted, stole some sausage from the store. And the police put on his charges that he, instead of petty theft, they put pedophilia. So when the guy gets out of jail, people find out what he was in jail for, and they beat the man up every day. Until one day he decides he had enough and he kills himself. So y'all beat a man every day because the police report said that he molested a young girl. And then after the guy dies, the police go, "Oh, our bad. He wasn't there for pedophilia. It was petty theft."
Right.
Oh man, y'all talking about the bill stuff? I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that.
Because so I don't like the victim shaming thing. Right. I don't like the victim shaming thing, but also I do believe you can conjure up people and pay them to say whatever you want them to say. Do I believe Bill Cosby did some of that stuff? Yes. Do
Yes.
I think he did all that stuff? No.
No. I
Right.
particularly don't believe he was raping white women in the 80s. I mean, the 60s. They went into a boy's house, a 12-year-old boy's house, drug him out, beat him, and drowned him for allegedly whistling
Cat calling. Yeah.
at a white woman. There's no way he did that because there was no such thing as Black Star Power at that time. You still could be lynched. You still could be killed. So that I don't believe at that time. No.
Right.
I don't believe that at that time.
Right.
I don't.
Hey, and Chuck, and you know what? The lady on her deathbed admitted that never happened. The thing with Emmett Till.
Right.
And no law enforcement did anything to that lady.
No. Because it was past the statute of limitations. She made sure it was I think 80 years past the crime, so they couldn't monetize off of it or something like that. I forgot the I'm gonna pull it up because I think I don't want to get that wrong. But they was like she made sure that she couldn't be or her family couldn't be sued and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, you pardon my French, you dirty bitch.
Yeah.
You got a chance to enjoy your mother freaking life, get married, have kids, become a grandparent, great grandparent, all of that. And you knew all this time that a little boy was murdered off of a lie that you told. So to say that Bill did that in the 60s, I just don't believe that. Two, for the things that they're upset with Bill and R. Kelly and those guys about, no one had a problem when Hugh Hefner was doing it. Now, Bill just got caught up with something where he got to pay some girl who was underage at the Bunny Ranch, or I mean not the Bunny Ranch, at the Playboy Mansion. She said she gave Bill a handy, and when she was 16, and I was like, "Oh, how in the hell did you get inside the Playboy Mansion at 16?"
Right. Right.
How? Where are your parents?
And why? And why?
Why were you allowed to stay? Hey man, if I'm in a spot and everybody looking a little too young, I'm like, man, what's going on? How old are these people?
Right.
Oh no, this is wrong. Nah, I ain't supposed to be in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, y'all ain't supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
Now, the reason. Here's the thing. Like I do believe, like Unc said, I do believe some of that stuff happened. There was a place here in the city called Studio 54.
Oh,
have y'all not heard the legendary nonsense that went on at Studio 54?
yes.
Man, listen.
About all these secret rooms in Studio 54.
Yes.
Yeah, all these secret rooms that are secret but private. I mean, secret but public at the same time. Like it's secret from patrons but public to stars.
Yes.
Like you could go in and see Michael Jackson and John Lennon doing stuff in a room that nobody want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, man.
Right. And
Yeah,
and they did, and it was drug culture was at an all-time high. So to sit there and say someone just gave you some drugs, what year was this?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Right.
Quaaludes?
What?
Well, Quaaludes was a drug of the day at that time. That was like the ecstasy of the time.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. You talks about give her another Quaalude. She'll love me in the morning.
Right.
So everybody was doing Quaaludes.
And we all love that movie too, by the way.
Who? Scarface's buns. Don't get me started on that today. We having a good conversation. Don't do that.
No, you know that was sarcasm, right?
Yes, I know.
You know that was okay. All right.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see if somebody from the chat want to jump. Like there was Uncle Freezy, right? No. We both feel the same way. It's not
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. And when I was a kid, I was fascinated by it.
Yes.
Right. But then when you watch it as an adult, you're like, wait a minute, this dirty ass scoundrel. This is a low down, dirty scoundrel, bro.
Terrible person.
Yeah.
Scarface.
And
this is dead. It's a piece of crap.
Yeah. 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 All the stuff that friendship, loyalty was built on is the opposite in this movie.
Yep.
I think I like American Gangster better than Scarface, personally. and I'm not even a fan of American Gangster. You know what I'm saying? I like American Gangster better than I like Scarface. And I know people could be like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like it because it's a true story. Scarface is all made up.
Yeah.
It's made up, and then it's the guy that is idolized in that movie is a dirtbag.
Yeah, you said dirtbag. I was gonna say scumbag, but same thing. Okay.
Same thing. Yeah, these streets are dirty, but you can't say you idolize or Scarface is the guy who you look up to, or you got pictures of Scarface on your wall talking about loyalty.
Right.
Like, because this guy wasn't loyal. Anybody that he could snake, he snaked. Anybody that he thought he was bigger than, he tried to step on him.
Right.
Like, that's like, bro, you were working in a kitchen making no money. You get a job making more money than you ever made, but it's illegal. You're selling drugs. What do you know about cocaine? Right? Right?
Yeah.
Guy brings you into his organization. Okay, so you got beef with a guy. You don't even know he's a DEA agent just yet. Right? But you snake him when he takes you to the meeting. You go behind him. You do talking that you ain't supposed to be talking. Right? Then once you get in good with the connect, you decide you're going to cut your boss out. Not only you're going to cut your boss out, you're going to take over in his town and take his wife. Nah, son. Tell me what about that is cool. Tell me about that. Like, come on, man. Like he's a slime ball. And these are what people, when anybody say that, when people say that to me, you know what I'm saying? I look at them with this, nah, I gotta be careful around you.
Right.
Because you're a grease ball, like you're a dirt bag, you're a slime ball because you idolize Scarface. So I just, as an adult, I look at it and I'm like, nah, man, I can't.
Right.
Can't get my stand, like, nah. I there are so many other movies in that vein that I particularly like more than Scarface. And I know that's blasphemy. That's blasphemy in you know, if you're from, you know, the hood, or if you're black or brown, it's blasphemy. You know, like saying, yo, man, I don't drink Hennessy. I don't eat watermelon. Sweet potato pie is nasty.
Yeah.
You eat banana pudding? Ugh. Collard greens are the worst. I'd rather have kale.
Yeah.
People look at you like, what? What?
Yeah. 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 And to be honest with you, the only reason why I really like American Gangster is not even the story. I think the story is whack. I think I don't have nothing against Bumpy Johnson.
Right.
I don't have nothing against Bumpy Johnson. Right. I personally think the individual performances, when these great actors got their opportunity to shine on the screen, they did that.
Right.
Like when Tango was like, yeah, man, you come work for me. You could do just like you do for Bumpy. Anything you say, Mr. Bumpy, sir. You know what I'm saying? When Tango was like these individual parts, all these RZA, when the stuff was on the board, and I'm like, yeah, he a producer / rapper. He ain't got no business even. But then when you see RZA in that scene, you're like, yo, look at Look at
Yeah.
RZA. You know what I'm saying? Or when Thanos pull over Denzel on wedding day to shake him down.
Oh yeah.
I keep saying that with Josh Brolin
Yeah.
pull in that scene, or when Josh Brolin is in Newark with you like, yo, these dudes is doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, all these individual scenes where these actors could legit do their thing, they blew it out the water. Even T.I., little part where you could tell he was a shaky young rapper trying to be an actor. That part where he was like, "Man, I ain't trying to play for the Yankees. I'm trying to be like you." Remember that?
Yeah.
In American Gangster?
Yeah.
You're like, look at T.I.
Look at T.I.
Yeah, like all these dudes, they murdering, they killing it, they scenes, right? Scarface, and I know this is and I know this is going to be blasphemous, but Scarface was poorly acted, right? When you look at it, Al Pacino is the classic overactor, right? Classic overactor, bro. Like when you look at, like, if you ever saw this movie Heat, right? Al Pacino is a classic overactor, right? Robert De Niro is a classic underactor. When you see these things where Robert De Niro should be flipping out, going crazy,
Right.
you're like, hey, you talking to me? What? Classic stand under control, cool. Al Pacino going crazy from the, hey man, hey Al Pacino, there's a fly in the window. There's a fly on the window. You like, really? Really? You got to go that far, Al Pacino? Al Pacino. Hey, Al Pacino, it's a little cool in here. It's cold in here for no apparent reason. You like, damn, really, Al Pacino? You got to go over the top. Al Pacino, classic overacting. Classic overacting. But I'll tell you what mafia movie that I did like, where I think everybody was classic, and it was no overacting, no underacting. The suspense was dope. Everybody was fly. Is this movie with Sean Connery and Kevin Costner called The Untouchables? The Untouchables, bro. The Untouchables, like when you put Scarface next to The Untouchables,
not even close.
You're like, not even close. Not even close.
It's like asking William Hung to sing with Johnny Gill.
Yeah.
Like,
not even close.
Not even.
He like, she bang. No, bro. No. No matter what you do, you still trash. No matter what you do, you still trash.
Yes, you still garbage. Still garbage. Now Al Pacino has been in better stuff. Even Heat wasn't a really good movie.
No.
It was very long.
Man, look, man.
Oh yeah. American Me. Shout out to oh man, what is his name? I can't think of I be having so many brain farts.
Edward Norton.
No. He played Machete. Can't think it's on the tip of my tongue.
Spanish dude. Spanish dude.
He's in a million movies.
Right.
Especially early in his career, he always played the henchman until they finally started letting him Danny Torero. Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He spoke on the real street stuff that was happening because of American Me and the things that were
Right.
portrayed in American Me. Like, because Danny Torreo is a real gangster. Like, he ain't just looked that way. He was about that.
Yeah.
He was about that. So yeah, man. I don't want to keep bashing Scarface. I was a child when that movie came out. I was a little kid watching it and watching all the adults just eat it up.
Right.
But I also watched those same people eat up Charles Bronson movies. And I was like, aren't these the same damn
Movie?
movies over
and over and over.
and
Yeah.
over
Different
and over?
name. Yeah.
Like, how many times? How is this guy making the same movie over and over and y'all love it? Like it's brand new. Like, no, the same thing is gonna happen.
Right.
But
Right.
then in the 80s got mad at Steven Seagal, talking about he making the same movie over and over.
Him and Van Damme making the same movie over and really? It's gonna end in a karate tournament?
Yes.
I thought y'all was just gonna shoot each other.
Knock
Really?
on wood. Knock on wood. For years. And y'all can clown me in the chat. For years, I thought Bloodsport and what's the other one? Bloodsport and Kickboxer. I thought they were the same movie. I thought they were the same movie. And they was like, yo, the bad guy is different. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of the same movie.
That's kind of the same movie, yeah.
When he goes through the training, they put the ropes on his legs and split his legs so we can get one of those high split kicks in the air. Like, come on, man.
At the end, yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I want Tompo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. But to your point, yeah, some of these movies are the same. Scarface thing is not, in my opinion, Scarface was not epic because of it was a cinematic masterpiece. It's a classic because of what it stood for.
Right.
Like it was different than The Godfather. Right. You didn't see rich guys walking around with suits and everybody was made.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about at the you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about at the beginning of whatever. Right. It was the poor man's rise. It wasn't about the family, kinda. You know what I'm saying? It inspired. It's like, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound weird, but it's kind of like Space Jam, in a sense, where Space Jam was like, yo, the level of competition has stepped all the way up, and we don't have our powers. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this thing as a team until we get, you know what I'm saying, powers back and all that. And so Scarface is this thing about, you know what I'm saying, and against all odds, rise to the top story with a dude that may have not been the most talented, but definitely had the most passion. You know what I'm saying? And so you can make it to the top if you believe in yourself and have passion, right? And so it's one of those type things that inspire people, you know, because Chuck, all the hit movies around that time were in the same line of thinking. You know how everybody be in the mind?
Yeah.
Give you. I'm talking about the same 10-year stretch from like 75 to 85. Right? You got Scarface, Me Against the World type of thing, right? The Last Dragon, Rocky. Everything is me, kind of like that Me Against the World type
right.
of thing. You know what I'm saying? One man against the world. All the Conan movies. Remember Conan the Barbarian?
Oh, those were terrible.
Terrible. But you know what it was? One man against everybody. Remember the Schwarzenegger movies? Not Conan, but the Schwarzenegger movies,
All
like
of
in
them.
the early 80s.
All of them.
One man against everybody.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Yo, Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent was so terrible. Like, I don't know how you've been in America this long and still have your Austrian accent, but at that time, I was like, yo, this guy's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
like, come on. Like what was that movie he was with? The Belushi brother, not the good one. The
Jim
What was it
Belushi.
called? Red Sonja? Red Sonja?
Red Sonja, yeah.
Red
yeah.
Sonja. I was like,
Right. And think about it. All of the movies from that time, and we all get caught up in those traps, like for instance, like podcasting.
Mhm.
Like podcasting right now, right? People think that you need to have either on the screen by yourself with an elite background, right? Like your background has got to be fire. Or so if you're a cutie pie, you get an elite background, you can sing the ABC song all day and people will send you super chats. That's fire on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
And then the opposite of that is people think all you got to do is put 10 people in the chat yelling and screaming at each other, and that's gonna be fire. Nobody is thinking outside the box, right? Nobody's thinking outside of that. It's like either you're a cutie pie with an elite background, maybe some fly curtains, a fish tank, or something. You know, maybe a guitar or something. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, that's fire. Yo, my man could just sing the ABC. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Meanwhile, $50 super chats is blowing up the chat. Yeah. Or you got 10 people yelling at each other with 10 people in the chat with 7 different conversations going on. And people are like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't the way. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it any way you want to do it. But just like how YouTube is blowing up with them 2 templates, 1975 to 85, that's what Hollywood was following. It's Rocky, the underdog story. You know, so I guess I could call it the underdog era.
Okay. Yeah, in the 80s, the underdog era was in full effect. You had like movies like Lucas.
Right.
You had Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
You had what other corny no, that wasn't the 80s.
Goonies.
Yes, Goonies, Wildcats.
Yep. Major League.
Oh,
you got even your war movies were underdog movies. The even the war movies. Like okay, so for instance, I served during the Black Hawk Down era. That's my era of military service.
Okay.
Right, the Black Hawk Down era. So it wasn't the Hamburger Hill era. Remember the movie Hamburger Hill about the Marines?
Yeah.
Have to take this hill, and they come to find out that it wasn't even a strategic target. It was about the U.S. government making money off of the drugs that were behind this hill or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we think it's a strategic point where you could see, but it's not even about that. So you risking all these lives. Anyway, it was about the Platoon. Remember that movie Platoon?
Platoon, yeah.
Yeah, all this, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Air Bud, the Mighty Ducks. Remember the Mighty Ducks?
The Mighty Ducks. I love the
Underdog
Mighty
era.
Ducks. I love the Mighty Ducks.
So welcome to your 2022 New York Knicks, the Mighty Ducks. That's what people wanted to be. Right? The damn Mighty Ducks. You better go get some talent, Leon Roll. You got motherfuckers thinking it's gonna be Angels in the outfield or some shit. You better go get some damn talent. But anyway.
Angels
yeah. You remember that?
Oh, Danny Glover. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
My man. Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
but yeah, man. So you got all these
Bad News Bears.
scoff
I think Bad News Bears was 70.
70s. The same range, the same Rocky era. Bad News Bears,
Yeah.
Rocky, Raging Bull, all of that is the same era, the underdog era. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, just do underdog making it to the top movie, right? And then right out of the underdog era, you get into the technology era, right?
Yep.
Your Top Gun, your Terminator,
Short Circuit.
yeah, technology will help us beat such and such. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. So depending on
I thought it just depended on the drugs that the people who were writing these movies was on, what we were gonna get.
Probably.
Because the 80s, yo, I'm okay. I know I'm probably going to be in the minority with this, but as a kid, when I first saw Howard the Duck,
right,
I loved that movie. But I was a kid.
Right.
It was this. Look at the duck.
Did you know it was Marvel Comics?
Nope. Did not know at all.
Yeah.
And then when I found out I was like, well, why didn't they shoot the movie like the comic?
Right.
Because the comic is so much better than the movie.
So much better than the movie.
The movie had me lost. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. The technology wasn't ready. The tech wasn't ready.
The tech definitely was not ready for that. Just like Dolph Lundgren as He-Man.
Oh my God. The tech was not ready.
Boo, 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 boo. Like word, y'all went to Radio Shack, hooked up some keyboards,
right,
and got this thing to work. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Batteries not included.
Oh God.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cobra. Someone just mentioned Cobra. I think that's an underrated Sylvester Stallone movie. I liked Cobra, but I did not. I repeat, I did not care for oh my goodness. You know what? I take that back. The ending of Cobra is dumb. Because for some reason in the 80s, they're at a shipyard or they're in a warehouse for the final showdown with the boat.
Every movie.
I was like, what the? But why?
Why?
We don't need that.
Right. Can you be more creative? And so Chuck, and just real quick for those that like what's the movie with damn, I'm forgetting everybody's name. The Marvel movie when they in space and it's a raccoon, alien, boy.
Oh, you're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, say 5 or 10 years ago, right? You should have loved Howard the Duck, right? Because if you like Groot, a tree that just says "I am Groot," and Rocket the Raccoon, Howard the Duck was supposed to be way bigger than them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Howard the Duck was supposed to be way big. Think about it. Rocket the Raccoon, played by Bradley Cooper, is genius, right? Bradley Cooper playing Rocket the Raccoon, right? Right. I thought it should have been Ryan Reynolds, but at the same time, I didn't know he was going to be Deadpool, right? So, but anyway, if you thought Rocket the Raccoon and Groot were big, bro, Howard the Duck should have been way bigger. But then again, at the same time, Marvel at that time was trash.
Yeah.
The Captain America movie was trash. The
Wah,
Spider-Man movie was trash.
wah, wah.
Everything was trash except the Incredible Hulk, which they couldn't get wrong.
No matter how many times they fumbled the bag. I'm not talking about the Lou Ferrigno era. I'm talking about after that when they tried to animate it. I was like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot of misses. I know someone brought up Predator. Predator was a good movie for the action.
Yeah.
It was probably one of Arnold's best. Like Arnold had a stretch where he was making pretty decent movies.
Yeah.
He was
True
making pretty.
True Lies was good. True Lies was good. The Last Action Hero, in my opinion, was good.
Yeah.
And not good in a sense where it showed Arnold can be more flexible in his roles.
Right.
Right. He don't have to play an android all the time, like a big strong dude. He can be a man. He didn't have to be a muscle man in this movie. He could be a man with muscles, if that makes sense.
Right. Right. He was just a regular dude.
Right.
Like a regular guy. No, his strength takes him to another level. He don't got 50 million guns. Like it was. I like that. Another Arnold movie. Some of his stuff as he got older. I liked a lot of stuff that he got older. Kindergarten Cop will forever be my favorite because I was a kid at the time. Yep,
Yeah.
that was another thing. Throw the big strong guy in there with a kid.
Right.
Kindergarten Cop, right?
Right.
And then didn't Burt Reynolds have like a movie like that?
Burt Reynolds,
Cop and a Half.
Yeah. Then you got Twins. Then you got Three Men and a Baby, which in my mind was genius, right? Like just throwing like dudes in it. Then you got Turner and Hooch. Remember Turner and Hooch? Tom Hanks and a dog.
And then they tried to do that with the not so good Belushi brother in K9. Or what that was the name of it?
Yeah, I think so. It was
Turner Hooch was Tom Hanks with the bull mastiff.
Yeah.
And then come on, the Belushi brother.
Jim.
Jim did. He's not John, so I don't, I just call him the other Belushi brother.
Yeah.
Like it was.
He had a good TV show though. His sitcom was fire.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, but in the movies, nah, not so much.
Heck yeah. His movies weren't that great. Like The Principal. Did you buy him being the motorcycle tough principal?
No. Because and plus it came out after Lean on Me. So no, I wasn't buying it.
Lean on Me. That is a depressing movie, man. That is a depressing. I went back and watched that, and I was like, yeah. I had no idea. Yo, everything was bad.
Yep.
Like everything was the most extreme of everything. Like, really, a guy just walks up to the back door with a suitcase full of all kinds of drugs.
Yep. Hey, and Chuck, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was in New Jersey public schools then, and a lot of that stuff was accurate. I legit those seniors, those juniors and seniors at Eastside High. I graduated in the same high school class with them, and a lot of that stuff that you saw, like gangs from across town, was walking down the hallways with chains and bats, banging on lockers. I was going through that. Man, listen, a school in Jersey, Snyder High.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
Was just like that. I went to a school named Dickinson, was kind of like that, except the police department was so close that you can only get away with so much stuff, right? But schools like Lincoln, like the school that Kool and the Gang them graduated from, Lincoln High, Snyder, Ferris, where all the Spanish kids went. It was because Ferris was like in that Spanish neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. Yes. The dudes pulling up with dope just like that you just meant. Yes, that's accurate. We used to see that stuff. And the thing about it is a lot of that stuff that would seem like it was all Hollywooded up was accurate. Like those meetings like with the school board and all that stuff about shutting these schools down, that's accurate. That's all of that stuff that was happening at Eastside High was not only happening at Eastside High, right? But it was happening at a lot of schools in the state of New Jersey, right? The funding for a lot of these schools like was going to these other schools in other places. Like maybe say for instance, Bruce Springsteen went to a certain high school, right? So Bruce Springsteen and then would pump money into a certain high school to help that high school get better. So they had computers and security and all this stuff. So the school got better, and then the kids that graduated from that school would put money back into that high school, right? But I went to Dickinson. High, right? And so I went to a school. It's like the most famous people from Dickinson High is probably Uncle Freezy, maybe Akon, and maybe a couple of other people, right? Lincoln High, the most famous people is probably Bernie Palmerly, somebody nobody even heard of, went to that school. He used to be a running back for the Miami Dolphins. Kool in the Gang. Who else went to this group called the Manhattans, went to Snyder, right? But nobody was putting money back in it. So when you saw Eastside High, when you look at the movie, don't think of Eastside High being like seeming like over the top dramatic and all this stuff. But Eastside High, even though the stuff that happened at Eastside High was accurate, Eastside High was more of a representation of all the urban high schools in northern New Jersey. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so all this stuff was real. You know, the girl that was pregnant and hot, man, that happened all the time. Principals being removed in the middle of the year, that happened all the time. Right? Yes. The money being moved from this school to somebody's pocket, that happened all the time in northern New Jersey. Right? Now I can't speak to New York. I can't speak to New York City public schools and Connecticut public schools and all that stuff. But the stuff in northern New Jersey, this stuff is real. Gangbangers walking down you can't get to class because these gangs is like, no, you ain't coming down this hallway. So you got to go out the building all the way around, walk the other way, right? Because gangs is in the hallway like shooting dice. And they don't even go to the school. These dudes are like 19 or 20. These dudes are 19 or 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? In the hallway of the high school. Like, ain't nothing going down over here today. The teachers is like, can't even call the police because the police ain't coming. So it's like the teachers is at the edge of the hall, grabbing all the students. Y'all go to the auditorium. Go to the auditorium. We're gonna have class in the auditorium. That's real. These are things that happened to me as a 9th grader, 10th grader. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes is there legit trying to pull female teachers in the bathroom. Female teachers is legit legit fearing for their safety. They can't even come to work and feel safe because you got like pimps and drug dealers and overall bad people is just like in the school, and these dudes is like 20. Dudes is like, Chuck, why you got a 25-year-old dude in the hallway pushing around 14-year-old kids? You know what I'm saying? Crazy. This is what it was like. And I'm not talking about in the 60s. I'm talking about 1985. I'm talking about 1987. This is real stuff. Like dudes legit. You know how you used to do fundraisers? Like the people will deliver the M&Ms, so you
Yeah.
could sell the box of M&Ms for $1,
Yep.
so the track team could get uniforms. You start doing it in September, so you finish in December. So by the time track season start in February, you have your uniforms.
Right.
We legit. I'm 14, right? I get the 100 boxes of M&Ms where I sell it. Sell these 100 boxes of M&Ms. Like I got them in the little thing, trying to take it home, and these dudes legit take the M&Ms from me, right? Take the M&Ms. I know who they are, right? Remember their face. I'm like, yo, when I get back to the crib, when I get back to the hill, I'm gonna tell such and such them, and they're gonna come up here and fuck y'all up. They're like, I don't get something to. So I go back and get Phaser D them. Like Phaser D, these dudes just took my M&M. They laughing like, yo, Uncle Feezy, you let someone take M&M from you. You saying you supposed to be? And I'm like, I know, man. It was like 10 of them dudes. They laughing, but then they're like, okay, we going, yo, and we get, you know what I'm saying? We get there. For they see Phaser D them like, oh snap! They go to the little shorty we took the M&M from. They running, my man. It's all this stuff, and I'm like, yo, all I wanted to do was run track. Why just got to be a gang? Why just got to be like a turf thing for me just to get uniforms, just for us to run track? I'm like 14 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I watch Eastside High, and I see the dudes in the bathroom, it's a group named Riff, right? A group named, one of them dudes, the light skinned dude is a dude. He from Jersey City, used to live on my street, right? You remember the dude that Joe Clark came up and looked at it like Morgan Freeman went up to him and like that dude legit used to live on my street, right? So anyway, all that stuff that you see, like all the graffiti, all that stuff, that's real stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you hear dudes talk about boys in the hood, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All these boys. It wasn't that. Yeah, boys in the hood is real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the stuff at Eastside High, yeah, that's real. But my bad.
We've had our run in Jersey, like it was like 88, 87, 88. I know I was still a young boy at the time, and we went to this church in Camden, New Jersey. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. This is back when people used to be in church all day, all night. Like we got there at 7 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're still in church, man. Right?
Yep.
But at this time, I'm the little drummer, right? So
right.
When the older boys don't want to play or it's a song, like usually when the senior choir sing, they don't want to play because the senior choir want them to stay in the pocket. They don't want them to get off, show off their little church chops. So they'll let me play or whatever. I remember that was my first time getting a chance to play, like during service and not mess around after service or before service. And so after that, we're getting in the vans, people getting in cars or whatever, and these group of dudes, because the church is on a dead end street, but right across from there is like, I want to call them projects, but I'm not too sure what they were. I know it was very sketchy over there, right? So we're loading up the van or whatever, and these group of dudes, they come over and they walk up to the preacher. They told the preacher, I know you a preacher and everything, and I know y'all got your church hand and everything, but y'all ain't gonna come here talking about kick drugs and all that and all that bullshit.
Right.
We get money over here.
Right.
I was like,
and they meant that, Chuck.
They were dead serious. Because when my man said that, he pulled his shirt up and tucked his shirt behind that gun that he had in his waist. And all them dudes that he was with had guns. I was like, yo, they pressing the preaching like that?
Yep.
Wow. Jersey is crazy.
Crazy.
So anytime they was talking about, oh, we're going up to Bishop so-and-so. Oh, Nah, I ain't
Nah.
going.
No, I ain't no.
I
Hell
ain't
no.
going.
Right.
I ain't going.
Hey, and look, and I ain't no punk either, but sometimes you gotta pick your battles, bro.
Absolutely. Camden,
And
New Jersey at that time was wild for the night.
a shout out to G Man for life. That's what G Man from.
No
Camden,
wonder.
New Jersey.
No wonder.
Camden, New Jersey. That's what G Man from. You know what I'm saying?
That explains a lot.
Yeah, man. G Man, and so G Man, and that's why me and G Man brothers from another mother, because he grew up like when we talk about that movie Lean on Me,
Mhm.
right? G Man, even though he's from South Jersey and I'm from North Jersey,
Right.
right? It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Like all the gangs in the hallway, like all all these street dudes selling dope in front of the building. Because what happened is, what people don't understand is like these high schools have everything you need for dope nightlife, right?
Yep.
Yo, these big high schools, like I went to the Dickinson High, was a big school, right? So during school hours, it got like the big courtyards, all these long outdoor hallways, all this stuff that's dope for kids to frequent during school hours, right? But during non-school hours, when it get dark, it got everything you need for like the dice game. You know what I'm saying? They got everything. They got the outdoor basketball courts for dudes to come out there, for dudes to play ball at night, people to gamble on the game. Got all these dark hallways for fiends to go hide and shoot up. And you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, right? And so what it is just because it's 7:30 in the morning and kids want to go to school, that don't mean, you know what I'm saying, the dope boy is ready to leave. You know what I'm saying? They still trying to make that money. They still trying to get money. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is about that also is like, just because, you know, say it's school and all this stuff, man, and all these things going on, don't mean, like for instance, when summertime, the school be just about empty. School be empty for about a month, right? School be empty for about a month or whatever. And so like June, come July, school be empty. Come August, the faculty and all that stuff be trying to renovate the school, do all these things for school and all that, right? But what does that have to do with the students? They don't care. That's why a lot of times when like the lean on me, I think, and I'm biased, right? Okay, let me first start by saying I am biased for movies like what's this thing, Gangsta's Paradise? Remember the Gangsta's Paradise movie?
Oh,
With
you talk
Coolio?
about Dangerous Minds?
Dangerous Minds. Yeah, I'm biased towards the movies like Dangerous Minds, because even though the acting in it was terrible, the premise was. I'm biased towards High School High. You remember High School High? The comedy.
John Lovitz, Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah.
And what's baby girl name?
I forget.
Brooke something.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Right. So I'm biased. I'm biased towards those movies, man, because not because the movies had the most excellent acting, but because certain things in those movies get addressed. Right? Like the classroom settings. Like I remember being in algebra as a ninth grader, right? And this was amazing to me that as a ninth grader, I could take algebra. This is like 82, 83, right? Algebra was like in the 90s what trigonometry was. When you heard the word trigonometry, you was like, oh my God, trigonometry? What is that? Right? And so it's like in the 2000s what a class called statistics is. You're like, statistics? That's a class?
Yep.
Yeah. In the 2000s, right? So I'm taking algebra, right? And so I tell my family members, hey, I'm taking algebra. They're like, oh my God, you're gonna be president of the United States. Mind you, my family is from South Carolina, right? They moved up. My family from South Carolina migrated to all the big cities, to New York City. They migrated to like New York City, to Baltimore, to Jersey City, to Newark, to Boston, to Detroit, to Cleveland, to Pittsburgh, to Los Angeles, to Dallas, to New Orleans, all these major cities, right, from South Carolina, to Atlanta's, to Charlotte's, to Miami's, all these places. But they still country boys and country girls, even though they live in places like East New York, Brooklyn. Got family there in East New York, Brooklyn, right? From places from South Carolina, right? So when they hear me say stuff like, hey, y'all heard Uncle Freezy taking algebra. So my Christmas present will be bigger than everybody else's because they figure I'm gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? But I'm taking algebra, and these high schools, they got gangsters out front with guns. I come out front with my chocolate milk and my little. You remember the old plastic tray you used to eat lunch on? Yep. I'm coming out of the cafeteria. I ain't eating lunch downstairs in the dungeon with them cornballs. I'm from the hill. You know what I'm saying? Jersey City, stand up. I'm from the hill. I'm from Van Nostrand, between Ocean and Jackson. You know what I'm saying? All this, yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying to myself. But I come outside, and these dudes look like they 10 years older than me. Like, shorty, give me that chocolate milk. I'm like, who the fuck you talking? This is me. I'm 14, Chuck. I'm 14. These dudes 25. They older than me, but mind you, I'm a big human being. I'm skinny at the time, and I'm nice off the hands and know it, right? They're like, give me that chocolate milk. Who the fuck you talking to, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? This is me talking to them, and they lift up their shirt. I said, give me that chocolate milk. I'm like, hey man, you want another one? This is how fast I changed my mind. You know, I'm 14. These dudes got the Roscoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like tossing these dudes my chocolate milk, and like, go get me another one. I'm like, hey, don't press your luck now. I ain't listen. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You got the heater, but you ain't, hey, you ain't about to play me. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I like him, man. He got heart. You know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because if I run and go tell my boys from the hill that y'all over here trying to play me, and I'm just over here trying to eat these books. Remember, DMX was like, yo, you shorty better eat them books. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I go tell my boys from the hill that you know what I'm saying, you ain't even gonna let me over here eat, they get ready to come over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying that I was the hardest dude or thorough or none of that stuff. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Them movies like that, to me, like them Coach Carters, like is mentioned in the chat, like the Coach Carter type movies. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It is. Yeah. I ain't mean to go on no tangent or nothing like that, man. But you know how it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But definitely out of those teaching movies or school movies like that, Stand and Deliver is up there for me, man.
That's my joint, boy. Hey, yeah, man.
Deliver is up there for me, man. Like I thought it was good from top to bottom. I believe the acting. Of course, Lou Diamond Phillips was the hot young face at the time. I thought that movie was A1. I saw someone post in the chat about New Jersey Drive. New Jersey Drive was accurate, and after that movie, car thefts went up. Like Jersey was wilding. Queens, we was wilding too. Chuck wasn't always the greatest upstanding citizen at one point in time. So I can attest, if you lived in Corona, you lived in Queens, you know, there was chop shops galore in Queens. Like they was stripping everything in Queens. But you know, I like New Jersey. I like New Jersey Drive. Um, Coach Carter. Oh, that was the basketball movie. It had too many actors in it that I didn't really care for. Like the young actors, the younger actors, like those guys. I don't know if those guys had been in anything major at the time, so they weren't like, you know, what's the Spanish cat from that movie? The one that had to do all the push-ups. I'm from, yeah, man, left rack, man. Yeah, David Parker, left rack. Yes, sir. Oh, excuse me. If you don't know what I'm saying, I'm trying to say left rock.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Cruz. Yeah, they even try to put like they were really trying to push him because like he had a movie that he starred in where he was like the son of a hitman or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, South Jamaica. Yo, I didn't know about Queens politics as a youngin' coming up. I used to be in places and I didn't know a lot of places had beef with the frack. Oh, I didn't know. Because I was an old dumb little kid, wet behind the ear, hanging out in projects, chasing little girls. Yo, Shorty, where you from? I'm from Left Right. You ain't supposed to be over here, man. But
Right.
anyway, anyway,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And so to the point that I was getting at with those, bro,
yeah,
is to me, it was less about glamorizing and the acting of the movie, but the storytelling itself, like telling the story,
right,
right, and exposing some things, um, like 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 for instance, another movie of the same vein or in that same thing is City um Coolie High, right?
right.
Of how these kids of the same age deal with all these problems and things that should be adult problems, but wind up being kids' problems.
Right.
Like when you're 16, you shouldn't have to be thinking about drinking away your sorrows when you're 16 years old.
I like that too, E. Gibson. The Education of Sonny Carson. I like that too. I like that too. But yeah, man, those I like well written movies like that, especially the coming of age movies like that, because that's what Coolie High was, a coming of age movie, but it was just dark. Right? It had its funny parts, but in totality, like the things that was going on, running from gangsters, getting killed under the L, you know, trying to go to make out parties. You know what I mean?
Right.
Thinking about going to college,
Right.
what you going to do with your life, like all of that stuff, man. Like that was, you know, Coolie High is put for me. Coolie High is in that category with. It should be in a category on its own, but it's also in that category with like Stand By Me.
Yep.
Another coming of age. No, that wasn't really coming of age. Killer Season with Cameron. No, I'm messing around. Oh, it was terrible. That was, and I know somebody gonna put, yo, that's a hood classic, Chuck. You bugging? No, it was not.
Right. Right.
Whatever you
Right.
think of, a movie like State Property, Killer Season is that movie on crack, meth, and heroin at the same time.
Right.
I could shoot a better movie
With my iPhone.
than what was shot. Yo, that one was so garbage. And I was like, they paid money for this? People put money behind this? But anyway, I just wanted to dog that movie real quick.
Nah, but what I was getting at too, Chuck, is I think sometimes we look back at the movies and realize that maybe the production wasn't great or the cast wasn't great,
Right.
or the timing wasn't right. But if you just look at the story that was told,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the storytelling, bro, some of that stuff is like, for instance, The Wood. When you look back at The Wood,
Mm-hmm.
The Wood was happening at the same time Boys in the Hood was happening. Right? Right? The
Right.
timeline is exactly the same. Right? But then when you look at the impact of the adults in one versus the impact of the adults in the other, and then you have this thing where you're like, man, how can The Wood be going on at the same time as Boys in the Hood? Right?
Right.
How can Menace to Society be going on at the same time as Boys in the Hood? Right?
Right.
And you have this thing is like, how can these kids survive, overcome all these? How can these inner city kids overcome all these obstacles to be successes on some level? Right? And it's like, and the reason why I bring that up is because you have a kid like me living on Van Nostrand in Jersey City, leaving the house at 6:45 a.m. to get to Dickinson High to be in class at 8. Right? Going through all this stuff, walking through druggies, gangbangers, pimps, pushers, hoes, thieves, all this stuff. Just to be in biology class at 8 o'clock. Right? You got all these things, right? All these things going on just to have some semblance of success as an adult. And think about how many kids like me made it through that just so they can be somewhat successful, right? Somewhat. Oh. How about this? Uncle Freezy is not successful, but I'm not a failure. So I went through all of that stuff just so that I won't be a failure. Right? Now think about all the kids that went through that and didn't make it that far.
Right. Right.
It's crazy, bro.
It is. And that's the thing that you don't necessarily think about, the people that were actually affected and the outcomes of their lives once experiencing this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there's just some things as a kid you should never have to deal with. But our circumstances, sometimes people can't help it. You feel me?
Right. Right.
You
Right.
you could come from the best home, the best parents, but if you're always in that environment,
Right.
what is a lamb supposed to do surrounded by wolves?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not be lunch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just don't be lunch.
Right.
Don't be on somebody's dinner plate. You know what I mean?
Every day we fight and not to be lunch.
Yes. And they wonder why we be having PTSD. Man. Oh man, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, I'm looking at wow. We put in some work today.
Right.
I'm looking at the time. Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was looking, I was like, man, I'm holding Chuck here. And I got some appointments that I gotta make. Too. So I might have to do a short KMD and then make these appointments and stuff. And just to make sure that Uncle Freeze is the pim. So anyway,
yes,
I'm gonna hey, so I guess we can wrap right here, man, and because we done talked everybody to pieces here. You know what I'm saying? About I blame Ray J.
Yes.
I blame Ray J for all this talk.
Yes, it's Ray J. Ray J did it first.
Yep.
It was all his fault. Listen, man, I'm happy everybody came through, man, on this Money Making Monday, coming out here kicking it with us. We've been here, just having a good time, man. Hopefully, we got y'all morning started off right while you're on your grind. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 7:30 to about 9:30. We appreciate y'all coming kicking with us. Y'all have a great day, Robert Ones, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. It's your host, Chuck Allen, Uncle Freezy. Peace.
Peace, y'all.